Southern offense, they come in with the best offense in the Southern Conference. And there's the starter today at running back, Chris Steele. Lamar Lewis, their regular starter, is banged up a bit. He's expected to play, but he will not start. And a very good offensive line. Brad Williams, who normally plays at left tackle, has to move over to left guard because of injuries.
This senior group of guys right here are going to be what is going to keep Jason Foster in this offense running. You have a group of experienced offensive linemen, and they're going to keep these guys up front together.
And you can hear the student body getting behind their team here at Appalachian State. And Jason Foster out of Canton, Georgia. And he will pass on first down, and it's complete as Joe Haney makes the catch, and he is immediately tied up by that Appalachian State defense. Titus Howard in on the initial hit. So a short gain at second down. And here's the defense of the Mountaineers. The front four is very physical. The secondary is outstanding. They have a lot of speed and they are aggressive back there. And Jerome Touchstone is really coming on. He's the senior. He's a leader in the secondary for App State. So it is second down and 10 for the Georgia Southern Eagles. And Foster running on the outside, and he has room to go in a big hole and cuts back. And there's Foster at his best, making things happen, and a huge gain in a first down run.
As we talked about earlier, this is Mr. Excitement on this Georgia Southern offense. Jason Foster is the one that is going to keep this game going and keep Georgia Southern in this game. We talked earlier about the offensive line. We talked to those guys about blocking, but as you see, Jason Foster makes plays in spaces, uses his speed, uses his vision, and he's going to be the one that is going to score all these points for this offense. So we're going to keep an eye on him all game.
Well, pretty good blocking, but then it was all Jason Foster getting it done.
Tremendous athlete, 4.3 speed.
All the way up to the 44-yard line. In motion goes Ashkudi. And the handoff goes to Foster. He tries the right side again in a big hole. And he's still on his feet and he breaks it. And Foster's going to go all the way for a touchdown.
Wow. Incredible start after the timeout. These guys got it together. Incredible start, incredible run by Jason Foster. Shows his athletic ability in the middle of the field. Breaks a couple of tackles. Shows his speed in open field and gets in for the touchdown.
The explosiveness of Jason Foster, his 16th rushing touchdown on the year, and it gives Georgia Southern an early lead, an injured player on the field for Appalachian State. It is Gary Tharrington, one of the defensive tackles, who is hurt, and he is down at the 45-yard line. So what a start for Georgia Southern, a 30-game home winning streak here for the Mountaineers at Kid Brewer Stadium. And the one player to make things happen, and Appalachian State is well aware of that, there's Tharrington down on the field being treated to. If you can somehow contain, you're not going to stop Jason Foster. If you can contain him, you're going to have a shot to beat this team. And instantly, he goes out there, two big runs back-to-back, and just like that on the board is Georgia Southern.
Well, as we talked to the team yesterday, we talked to the defensive coordinator, and that was he was saying, hey, we have to stop Jason Foster to keep these guys kind of on the bench. And as you saw in that first drive, it did not happen. He broke loose, ran down for a touchdown. Incredible.
Jesse Hartley is on for the point after. He has been perfect on the year, 30 out of 30. And he puts it up and in, and Georgia Southern converts. So the first time Georgia Southern gets the football, they go down the field. They do it quickly behind the running of Jason Foster.
And showing his versatility, line up in the running back slot, hit the hole. As you see that hole in the middle of the line, making all kinds of moves, that just shows individual skills. Then, of course, showing that 4.3 speed in the open field. He brings the total package to this team and to this game. He is going to be a problem for this Appalachian defense if they don't contain Jason Foster. That has been the plot all week. Hey, we got to get this guy in a box and keep him contained. And even when you have him in the middle of the field where you want him, he still shows his skills and athletic ability and runs down the field for a touchdown. Incredible run, incredible player.
He not only broke a tackle, he broke 3 tackles on that run, and the spin moves getting him out of it. 80 yards on 2 carries, and we are still early on in this game, only a minute and 1 second into the game.
I don't know what happened in that timeout, but evidently they had a great conversation to get these guys going. 80 yards in 2 plays, incredible.
So now Jesse Hartley will kick off, and Appalachian State will get the ball for the first time. Coco Hillary and Cortez Gilbert will be deep as Hartley will be kicking into the wind. It's a very breezy day this afternoon here in Boone, North Carolina. Of course, mountains surround this beautiful stadium on the campus of Appalachian State. And Georgia Southern with a quick 7-0 lead.
Hey, this is one of these hammock days right here.
Hartley gets into it. It will be returnable. And coming down with the ball is Gilbert. Gilbert trying the outside, and he is bottled up. So excellent kick return coverage that time for the Eagles, and Appalachian State will go on offense for the first time, and they have their starting quarterback back in there. Monty Edwards will bring the team onto the field. This is only his third start on the year. He has a shoulder injury that has plagued him since the scrimmage, what they call Fan Fest here at Appalachian State. The quarterbacks are not supposed to be hitting that game, but unfortunately he got hurt, and it's battled him all year.
Trey Elder has been doing a great job, but this team is flexible here, more flexible with Monty Edwards.
And they're throwing the football on first down and right through the hands of a wide open receiver. TJ Corman could not come up with that one, so a wide open player, perfect pass, and it goes incomplete. Here's a look at the starting offense today for Appalachian State, and Kevin Richardson, the running back, one of the best in the conference. He is on pace to set a new all-time rushing record for a career here at Appalachian State, and the offensive line has been playing very well. App State comes in at 5-1 on the year, so 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Appalachian State does not huddle, and Edwards pitches out. There's Richardson. A small hole he gets through for a short gain. It'll be 3rd down. Well, the Georgia Southern defense comes in. Their record now at 4-2 on the year. It's a 4-3. Their secondary is young, but it's aggressive, and they are very, very talented in that secondary.
We have been told by Little B that we expect to see big pressure here on 3rd down. They want to get after the quarterback on the other side here with Monty Edwards. So we expect to see some pressure coming from this defense.
It'll be 3rd and 5 for the Mountaineers from their own 30. Edwards is back to pass. Has time, gets it away, and it's intercepted the other way. Brandon Jackson going towards, it's Carson Hill. Carson Hill goes in for the touchdown. So the interception and the touchdown return by Carson Hill, and Georgia Southern has struck twice early on at a 13-0 lead.
It's a great play by Carson Hill. He was reading the quarterback all the way. Monty Edwards stared down the receiver, and you can't do that on a team of this caliber. Georgia Southern has great instincts with their defensive back, some of the strong points of that team, and as you see what can happen if you stare down a receiver going against veteran corners.
Carson Hill, a sophomore out of Haddock, Georgia. Perfectly played. Here's the point after. The kick is up, and the kick is good. It just got in there. So how about that? A long touchdown run and interception return for a touchdown. Hartley 2 PATs, and the Eagles have a quick 14-0 lead. Carson Hill on the sidelines. He has now intercepted a pass in 3 consecutive games, and he returned it for a touchdown. The first time in his career he has run back an interception for a touchdown. He's just a sophomore, 5'10", 165, and that was a huge play on a 3rd and 5. He read it, he caught it, he ran it back, and it's a quick 14-0 lead for Georgia Southern. So Appalachian State will receive the kickoff for a second time today. And here is Hartley kicking it off, and again, it'll be returnable. Brought down by TJ Corman. Corman trying to get to the outside, cannot. He is stopped short of the 20. And Wally, let's get a look at the interception. Perfect coverage and perfect execution by Hill.
Well, Monty Edwards is coming off the bye week, and he hasn't been in the game situation in a couple of weeks here. There was really a poor job of staring down the receiver and giving an opportunity for the cornerback to get a read on his throw. Anytime you're playing against a caliber defense like this Georgia Southern defense, you don't give these guys opportunities like that. Monty Edwards stared down the receiver, gave an opportunity for the cornerback to get a read, stepped in front of him. We're going with the quick 6 the other way.
35-yard interception return for a score, and here is Appalachian State back at it. And Edwards with the handoff, and not much there in the middle.
I think Georgia Southern is fired up out here. They came in this atmosphere, this Black Saturday atmosphere, and they are matching the intensity against this Appalachian State offense and defense. So they're right now, they are dictating the pace. They are taking the fight to them. And this crowd right now was totally stunned.
So Richardson got maybe a yard. It is second, let's call it 9.5.
Comcast customers may be experiencing video difficulty on this program. The problems are all with Comcast. WGSA is transmitting fine. Use channel 50 if you can.
Payton, finalist coming into the season. He's another guy who was on pace to break the all-time leading rusher here at App State, John Settle's record. So Kevin Richardson here making his presence felt.
David Lewis, the middle linebacker, in on that stop as well. And here's another run, this time by Edwards, and he keeps the ball and picks up a first down. And there's the versatility of Armonte Edwards. Yes, he can run, he can pass, but he is elusive. And this is a matchup today with Foster on the other side, two quarterbacks who can get it done.
Yeah, these offensive linemen here are just putting a hat on the hat. They're covering guys up and allowing their playmakers to make plays.
Hands off to Richardson, a couple of yards, falls forward near midfield. And again, the defensive front, the front four of Georgia Southern, doing a very good job.
Correction 7-4 on the kick.
Appalachian State does not huddle. They get the play from the sideline by a series of signals from the coaches. Shotgun formation, no audibles from the quarterback, by the way. Whatever play is sent in, he runs. And there's a pitch to the outside, and tremendous defense that time coming up on the outside. That was Derek Bynum making the stop, the free safety.
Yeah, I think these guys are kind of visualing each other. They have two great quarterbacks on both sides. They are used to seeing Jason Foster in practice do great things against this defense. So now you have another great quarterback here in Armonte Edwards coming up, making a great play, reading the option. This game is going to go back and forth all day.
3rd and 6, 4 wide receivers in, and the play being changed at the huddle. A new signal came in from the sidelines. Scott Satterfield, the quarterback's coach, calls the plays. Edwards back to pass. He's in trouble, trying to get free. He does. On the outside, trying to run for the first down, and he gets there. A huge play by Armonte Edwards in the Georgia Southern territory, and a big first down run on what was almost a near sack.
We're going to keep talking about this all day. We're going to talk about how these quarterbacks are able to make plays on their feet. Armonte Edwards eludes the rush, gets downfield. Incredible play, an incredible job of eluding the rush, getting downfield, getting the ball upfield, returning to maybe a 20-yard loss. It's a first down and 10 on the 34-yard line.
Larry Beard, the defensive end, got to him, but he couldn't hold on. Edwards broke free, and a huge play for the Mountaineers. So in Georgia Southern territory, at the 35, there's a handoff, and it's Richardson right through the middle, keeping those legs moving. And a pretty good game for Kevin Richardson through the box. E.J. Webb, the freshman, in on the initial hit. Carson Hill to stop. And E.J. Webb, he is young, but he is good, out of Roanoke, Virginia.
Come out of the prestigious Fort Union High School in Virginia. Legendary players. Vinny Testaverde is an alum. Eddie Joyce, an alum. Many guys who have had opportunities playing in the NFL.
Edwards keeps the ball, finds some room. Very close to another first down for Appalachian State. Bynum in on the stop for Georgia Southern.
I actually like the way the offensive line gets gritty with this defensive front of Georgia Southern and makes their blocks. They're doing a lot of pulling, a lot of trapping right now. It's interesting to see how they're going to wear when the 3rd and 4th quarter comes around. If these guys can actually stand up to the physicality of App State's offensive line.
And what we're seeing early on here is something that you pointed out yesterday in the coaches' meetings, that the secondary for Georgia Southern is very aggressive, and they're in on so many tackles. In fact, if you add up the tackles, they have more than the front 8.
Yeah, they are the leading tackles of this defense. One of the problems that we did first down for App State.
First down on the run.
One of the problems that we did talk about was the lack of pass rushing from this Georgia Southern front, and your defensive backs have been the one in the backfield making the aggressive plays. So good change with these guys playing physical up front with the D lineman and the offensive lineman going back and forth there. But I think it's going to come down to how they perform and how they're able to put pressure on Amani Edwards.
You got to look at Chris Hatcher on the Georgia Southern sideline, his first season as the head coach for the Eagles. Edwards to pass, over the middle, wide open. Richardson has it for a touchdown.
Kevin Richardson, Walter Payton finalist. Not only is he a great runner, but he is a great receiver out of the backfield. These guys have nothing but playmakers on their team. They're probably going to give this Georgia Southern defense fits all day.
So Edwards back in the shotgun pass formation. He went right down the middle, took a hit, and Richardson wide open for the touchdown, his third touchdown reception on the year, and another injury on the field for Appalachian State. So very important there for the Mountaineers to answer after quickly falling behind by 2 touchdowns.
Definitely very important drive to this game. I think coming into this drive, of course, Georgia Southern had the momentum, and App State had to do something to answer that. They did. Great drive. More importantly, Amani Edwards sat in the pocket, got the ball downfield.
Marco Acatelli is banged up on the field. And another look at the touchdown on a perfect pass by Armonte Edwards, who got the pass to Kevin Richardson, who was wide open.
I mean, the shot that Amani Edwards took after that pass was just incredible. He sat in there, took the shot, and of course, Kevin Richardson was just running down the field wide open. And as you see the jubilation from the coaches over there, they're excited, everybody's pumped up. Hey, this is a big-time conference game, rivalry game, Black Saturday here. Throw everything out the window. These guys are coming here to play.
So the scoring drive gets Appalachian State on the board. 9 plays, 82 yards, and Edwards the touchdown pass. Armani Edwards on the year now has 4 touchdown passes. He's run for a couple of touchdowns. Remember, this is only his 3rd start on the year. And you saw Chris Moore, who is Jerry Moore's son. He's the running backs coach on the sideline. He was the coach applauding because it was his running back that scored that touchdown, ran a perfect route, caught the pass, and got in for the score.
And ladies and gentlemen, we totally expected this kind of game. We totally expected these teams to go up and down the field. I mean, we were talking about maybe a 50 to 54 type game about where these players are just making plays all over the place. You're going to see Jason Foster, of course. You're going to see Armani Edwards. You're going to see Kevin Richardson. You're going to see guys all over the field making plays. So we totally expect this track meet. There's no huddles. There's nothing but spread offense. So we're totally expecting this kind of game.
So while they attend to Marco Acatelli, we'll take a break. Point after to follow. Georgia Southern scored twice, once on offense, once on defense. Appalachian State has come back. We have a game in Boone.
Small, one game at a time, and we're here to beat Georgia Southern, not worry about anything else. We don't talk about national championships here. We don't talk about three-peats. We talk about winning the game right here at hand, and that's what he wants his players to do.
Mario Acatelli, the lineman, by the way, was walking off the field, although he was aided as he walked off. It looked like it was a lower leg injury. And Georgia Southern will look to receive the kickoff. Joe Haney is back deep, as is Tim Camp. And Julian Roush has one of the best legs in the conference. The second kickoff on the day, the first went for a touchback. And this kick comes down near the goal line. It is returnable. And here comes Tim Camp. Trying the outside, and he is smothered. Mark Legree on the stop for Appalachian State.
I'm going to see how this Georgia Southern offense is going to respond. Now that they have answered back with a touchdown, Appalachian State answered back with a touchdown. We're going to see how this GSU offense is going to respond out here in this environment. You don't want to get too far ahead. You don't want to get too far behind here. You know, and like I said, with these conference games, you're going to throw everything out of the window. All right, these guys are going to run up and down this field all day. So let's see how this team responds to the touchdown.
Very important defensive series for Appalachian State to try to hold down Georgia Southern. From their own 18, and a whistle on the play. And they took too much time, so that'll be a delay of game and a penalty against Georgia Southern. And the referee, Ed Roge, talking with Jason Foster. And now there's going to be a discussion. Wayne Rigsby, the umpire, comes in to talk it over with the referee, Ed Rhodes.
Part of the snap, delay game, offense, number 4, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, everything starts with Jason Foster. Even the penalty here. Hey, the penalty was on Jason Foster. You know, John Wiley has said all along that we have to stop number 4 and keep him isolated. As we see on these replays here, he is an exceptional athlete. He has the ability to make plays in the open field, and it's just giving him all kinds of problems right now early in the game.
Hands the ball off to Lamar Lewis, who gets big yardage going around the right side. Titus Howard eventually on the stop. So Lewis, the regular running back, but he's been battling leg injuries, still getting into the game. And there's a flag on the play. This one might come back. They're talking it over. And the penalty goes against Appalachian State. So instead of the play coming back, yards will be added to the run.
Well, that's one thing we've seen here early. We don't want to give any of these teams more opportunities, and coming up with a personal foul, it's going to be a 15-yard runoff here. You don't want to give this offense an opportunity, 15 yards for free going down the field like that. That's really,
personal
really
foul. Defense, number 99, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So Tim Washington, the defensive end, called for a personal foul. That adds 15 yards onto the play and moves the ball out to the 39-yard line. So it is 1st and 10 for the Eagles. And it's a pass coming back to Foster, who gets outside and is run out of bounds. Fine defensive play by Jerome Touchstone to prevent further yardage from Jason Foster. And this is the interesting aspect of this Georgia Southern offense. You have your quarterback lining up as a running back and catching a pass.
How can you possibly game plan for a player like that? You don't know if he's going to be throwing the ball downfield. You don't know if he's lining up in the backfield. He's now catching passes as a receiver. I mean, he is just Mr. Versatile on this team. You contain him, you stop this team, and so far that has not happened.
And it's another first down for Georgia Southern. Foster keeps the ball in the middle, not much there. So it'll be a second down for Georgia Southern. Titus Howard, the nickel safety, came up to make the hit.
Great job by Howard to come up and really contain Foster. This is what this Appalachian State defense wants to do. They want to keep his vision very, very centered in the middle of the offense so he doesn't get an opportunity to get on the perimeter and show his speed. Great job by this Appalachian defense, and this is what they want to do all game.
A second down play in Appalachian State territory. Foster has the ball, nowhere to go, and a flag's going to come down. Looked like a face mask in there. Tim Washington makes the call.
Might have gotten away with it. He might have grabbed the inside of the shoulder pad. Oh, I know he didn't. Sorry.
Oh, no flag.
No flag.
Let's look at the play and see what the grab was on.
He grabbed the inside of the shoulder
pad, not the face mask.
Hey, in the pros, that's a horse collar, but hey, college football, that is a tackle. Let's go with third down.
4 wide receivers to the right. And here's the other quarterback in the game running through the box. Whistle on the play. That's Billy Lowell, the freshman out of Lakeland, Florida. Jacques Rome, the middle linebacker, in on the hit.
There was no snap. We have a timeout, Appalachian State, before the snap.
So Appalachian State called a timeout, seeing the other quarterback in there in pass formation. They probably didn't have their personnel in the right spot, so a timeout call.
Well, one thing we did talk to defensive coordinator John Wiley about is having his guys in the right position. You don't want to be out of position with these athletes that they have on Georgia Southern, especially dealing with Jason Foster. So he's going to take time out, make sure his guys are ready to go on a big third down play, give the opportunity for the offense to come back out and tie this game up early in the first quarter.
So the stop negated, and Georgia Southern will have another chance to keep this drive going. It'll be a third down play. Ball is at the 43-yard line as we play in the first quarter here at Kidd Brewer Stadium. There's Chris Hatcher, the head coach of Georgia Southern. Student section here at The Rock getting loud. And Foster is back to throw, and it's complete. And room to run, and a big hit after the catch by Joe Haney. Gary Tharrington came over to make the hit. So Jason Foster, the passing has been improving. Did not get enough for a first down. It is fourth, but very short.
Well, this is definitely not their strong point throwing the ball. They want to get Jason Foster in the open to run.
And the pitch out goes to the right side to Lamar Lewis, and it's going to be very close. It depends on the spot. Titus Howard over for the stop. And it will be a first down. He got enough.
Well, one of the things with this Georgia Southern offense is we know that Jason Foster is going to get his yards, going to be out there, is going to be the focal point. But the guys around him, Lamar Lewis on that run for the first down, he's another guy who they want to get going and kind of get some distraction away from Jason Foster to give that App State defense something else to worry about.
Well, the ball up to the 34. Another handoff to Lewis, trying to get outside, cuts back towards the middle, and eventually he is stopped. DJ Smith in on the stop, the true freshman linebacker, and other scores around the Southern Conference. Furman has defeated Chattanooga. The Citadel leading Western Carolina by 10, that game in the fourth quarter. And Elam with a 14-13 lead over Wofford in the third. Wofford is the leader in the standings in the conference. And there's another handoff to Lewis, and big room right up the middle. What a surge by the offensive line. Corey Lynch on the stop.
As we see this offensive line, a group of seniors there coming together. And Lamar Lewis is a capable back. He is another guy who's been averaging 100 yards rushing, you know, with this high-powered offense that Georgia Southern runs. They lead the nation in rushing. So he's a capable runner. You get him going, you're going to have problems dealing with both of these guys. And this is something that App State does not want to see. Somebody's within this offense making plays.
And it's another first down for Georgia Southern. Motion. And the handoff goes on the inside to Lewis. Wide open, a huge hole, and he's in for the touchdown.
Great hole, great blocking over left guard there. Defensive lineman did not even try to get back and make a play. Anthony Williams, number 98, just ran himself out of the play. A hole right there. Big hole.
18-yard touchdown run, Wale, and he was nearly untouched as he went in for the score.
Lamar Lewis, another capable running back.
Jesse Hartley in for the PAT. He kicks it straight through, and it is 21-7 in favor of Georgia Southern. The explosiveness on this Georgia Southern offense is showing as Lewis gets the ball right through the middle and touchdown Eagles. It will be Hillary on the kick return going to the left, looking for some room, a little bit there for him, but he is taken down. And let's go back to the touchdown and the tremendous touchdown run right up the middle for Lamar Lewis.
As we see Lamar Lewis hitting that hole, you wonder why that hole is there and why nobody touches him until one of his teammates comes in and passes him on the back. As you see here, number 98, the defensive lineman is stunning out. The offensive lineman didn't have anybody to block. You see number 34 running downfield, the fullback had a corner to block a yard in front of the goal line there. So great run, actually a great call by the offensive coordinator for Georgia Southern to have that play going against that stun-out blitz, and it was a bad call by the defense, really.
Edwards on the handoff, not much there in the middle, possibly a loss. Jerry Barker, the nose tackle in there. Going to be a second down play for App State. in deep in their own territory. Too wide to the right, too wide to the left, and now motion as Corman comes across. Edwards is back to pass over the middle. He has a man, that's Richardson. He's open, and a big run near first down yardage.
App State getting some of their guys involved in the offense here, getting everybody involved. You got to get Kevin Richardson. Hey, you want to get your big-time threat to run, use his speed in the open field, throws a couple of blocks, upfield, moving the ball, moving the ball, moving the ball. We love how these guys are coming out in this game. I mean, this is a very exciting game. 28 points in the first quarter alone. So, hey, very exciting game. Big-time conference game.
And the measurement is good for a first down for the Mountaineers.
And a first down for App State.
The Appalachian State fans behind their team. They're expecting upwards of 30,000 here today. They have had the 3 biggest crowds in this stadium history this season. And a flag before the snap.
There's people here sitting in the mountains and everywhere. There are people standing and looking at this game all. I mean, it's really a packed house. Great college atmosphere.
Prior to the snap, snap infraction, number 66, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, the call on Scott Suttle, the center, and there are the fans sitting on the hill just outside the stadium. They're on the other side of the fence. They didn't pay to get in. They're watching the game. And there's the center seat. There was a little movement there.
No, you can't do that. Hey, you can't do that. I've tried that myself.
And there's another ball by Edwards and a late hit, and there comes a flag. And that was not a smart play for Georgia Southern.
Terrible, terrible play. We talked earlier, you can't give these guys second opportunities. If you got them down, you got to take them down. And 15 yards on sportsmanlike conduct there. It's not a good move by Chris Covington.
12-yard run for first down yardage. And they're going to add 15 more onto that as Covington with a late hit. So you see the personal foul infraction signaled for, and they'll move the football forward.
Yeah, he's been a little aggressive there, but that's a little too aggressive.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, 28 defense, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
So Ed Rhodes marking 15 yards now off the play, and that's a big gainer for Appalachian State.
I mean, he's obviously down right here. You know, the guys have him locked up, and look at that hit there. That was just not thinking and not helping out your team.
A stop there by Georgia Southern. E.J. Webb in on the tackle.
E.J. Webb is another guy. He's the third leading tackler on this Georgia Southern defense here.
Larry Beard in as well from his defensive end spot. 3-yard gain. Second down and 7. App State now in Georgia Southern territory. Edwards to pass. Comes back the other way to Richardson. A bobble that he holds on, and he is bottled up. Outstanding coverage, and Webb, the linebacker, showing some quickness to get in there for the stop.
As we talked to Coach Hatcher yesterday, he called out E.J. Webb as being one of their great young and up-and-coming defensive players on this Georgia Southern defense. We talked about the cornerbacks being their leading tacklers. Well, hey, he's number 3 on the team. He's a freshman coming out of Fort Union, and he's ready to go. He came out of the gate starting every play for this defense, so expect to hear his name called a lot, too.
Loss of 6 brings up 3rd and long, 3rd and 13. Edwards looking towards the sideline to get the play. He has some time out over the middle. Man wide open for a big first down play for the Mountaineers. Coco Hillary got loose and Bynum saved the touchdown. What a call, and perfectly executed by Edwards.
Amani Edwards sitting in the pocket, finding the post coming down the middle of the field, wide open. Nobody is around him. He's able to get the ball upfield. I think we saw that same play against Michigan. We saw Jackson running down the middle of the seam for a 68-yard touchdown pass.
From the 18, the handoff to Richardson goes left side, has a hole, and surges forward for big yardage on first down. David Lewis, the middle linebacker, got in on the stop. Harlan Bauer there as well.
The offensive line here is taking control of the game, as we see. Kevin Richardson running in that hole. It's a hat on the hat. Guys are getting physical up front, pushing guys around. Great run.
Edwards keeps the ball, comes back the other way. What a hit. He stayed on his feet, and he picked up a couple of extra yards. Harlan Bauer eventually brought him down.
Great job again by the offensive line, pulling around, cutting the defense, and making it whole. 66, Scott Sutter, pulling around on that play. Hey, he was in the end zone blocking that particular play. So hey, these guys are playing a physical game up front, and they're trying to take some of this steam out of this Georgia Southern defense.
Well, first and goal from the 5. Two wideouts to the left. The handoff to Richardson right up the middle. He jumps in for a score.
This is what you love to see right here. Goal line situations inside the 5-yard line. Hey, give it to your premier running back. Let them get behind those big physical guys up front, going for the touchdown.
Folks, we still have a minute and a half to go in the first quarter, and already 5 touchdowns in this game.
Hey, we're going to be out of breath talking about all these guys up here before it's all said and done.
Are there enough digits up on that scoreboard? Here's the extra point attempt. Julian Roush comes on. He has 1 on the day. He's 32 out of 32 on the year. He is a senior, and he has had an outstanding career for the Mountaineers, and he puts it right through. These offenses, the storyline coming in, and they are proving to be up to the billing as Richardson into the end zone for the score.
Untouched. Great job by the big boys up front. They are doing their job. They've been gaping holes on both sides of the ball, but as you see, this App State team is responding.
And I want to ask you, as a former outstanding lineman, both coaching staffs told us yesterday that their offensive line were playing very well. And in watching these runners quickly get to the hole, really all you're looking for is to hold the block maybe a couple of seconds, because by then the play's already behind you.
Well, dealing with these guys, in their special positions here, you got Amani Edwards who was going past you at the blink of an eye. You got Kevin Richardson, who is your Walter Payton finalist. I mean, these guys need a step. So, Jason Foster here, he just needs a step here to get an open field and show what he can do. So you got these big hogs up front. They're putting a hat on the hat. They're covering up their defenders, and they're letting the opportunities for their specialty players happen. These guys, as you see, can make plays in the open field. All you need to do is cover up some of the guys up front, and great things are going to happen.
There's Gus, the Georgia Southern Eagle, who has made the trip from Statesboro for the game today. And here's another kickoff for Julian Roush. And the question is, when is one of the defensive fronts on this team in this game going to make a stop, as that one bounces down and out of bounds?
We talked about those freebies here. You want to pin these guys back. You don't want to kick the ball out of bounds and give these guys an opportunity to get in some good field position. So, they're going to be starting in pretty good shape on the 30-yard line, it looks like. Actually, the 35.
So Georgia Southern will go back on offense. This game has been controlled by the running games, by the passing games, by the offensive line. There's the scoring drive. It goes 9 plays, just 3 minutes and 46 seconds, and Kevin Richardson with a 5-yard run. So here's Georgia Southern back on offense. And Foster fakes the handoff, keeps it, runs left, big room before he is hit and stopped. Corey Lynch on the stop for App State.
And what I'm seeing here, Jim, is, you know, these guys are not getting off blocks. You see the receiver blocking here. They're getting into the pitcher. You see the offensive line and the tight end are blocking. You know, App State right now is having a lot of problems up front with their guys getting off blocks. Of course, you're going to put a hat on the hat and cover these guys up, let your playmakers make plays. And App State is having a very hard time of deciphering run and pass.
12-yard run for a first down. Foster keeps it again, wiggles his way through the middle, and another big gain all the way down to the 35-yard line.
And that was a play where they had it blocked. They didn't block that well, and they had him trapped in the backfield. And App State did not make the play. They had the opportunity to. I mean, that just shows what kind of athlete Jason Foster is. Look at two guys have him in the backfield. Look, he eludes them. He gets upfield, gets another 20 yards out of the play. I mean, he is just a tremendous athlete, can make all kinds of plays all over the field. We've seen this in the beginning. I'm going to keep talking about this whole game. Hey, you got to stop this guy if you're going to compete to win this game.
Foster hands the ball off. That's Mike Hamilton cutting back the other way, trying to get some yardage, and he does. Jabari Fletcher eventually on the stop.
Senior group of offensive linemen here. Keep driving, keep pounding the ball, keep enforcing your will on the opponent. That's the line that we offensive linemen like to use. Impose your will on the opponent, and it's very obvious right now that this Georgia Southern offensive line is doing just that.
Well, it was an 8-yard gain. It brings up a second down, and that will be the final play of the first quarter. So what a quarter we've seen. 4 offensive touchdowns, a defensive touchdown on an interception return. And this game, as advertised, as these bitter rivals in the Southern Conference going at each other here in the Blue Ridge Mountains. And they head up on the hills, they stand behind the wall, they stand behind the buildings, and they come out and support their team.
In our first trip to Boone, you have to love this atmosphere. This is a great college atmosphere, great environment, beautiful scenery, great day to play college football.
So on the first play of the second quarter, with Georgia Southern in command, Tony Robertson on the stop. It'll bring up a big third down play.
Yeah, bad block there by 87. I mean, that's bad block. He came right inside the tackle there, made a great play in the backfield. Great defensive play. They needed that.
Big play here for the Mountaineers. And it's a handoff on the inside. Not much there, and he may not have gotten it, and a flag is down. Pierre Banks on the stop. Hamilton tried to get outside, couldn't find any room. And we'll see what the penalty flag is. It looked like he was stopped short of the first down, and Appalachian State players applauding, and it's a holding call on Georgia Southern.
Offensive linemen hate holding calls. Nothing stops a drive and puts a sour taste in the O-lineman's mouth to be called for holding.
Here's the call from Ed Rhodes, our referee here today.
Holding. Offense. Number 75. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat third down.
Brad Williams on the call. Normally the left tackle.
Yeah, you can't. It looks like he grabbed the guy here. You can't put guys in the headlock there at the end of the play. You got to keep your hands inside. And when the refs see it, hands outside, they're definitely going to call it.
So instead of third and short, it is third and long. And the ball all the way back to the 38. Bully Lowe in there to pass. Finds an outlet on the outside. It's Foster. He's wide open for a first down. And a huge gain and a huge play for Georgia Southern. Corey Lynch and Pierre Banks in on the stop.
Well, this is the problem that he presents, lining up all over the field. I mean, he's wide open. He's not a quarterback. He's a receiver this time. And how could you leave him wide open? He is wide open on this play. You don't want this guy in open field. Great open field tackle by Lynch there to stop it. But you can't let Jason Foster lull you to sleep at all these position changes around the field. You got to keep an eye on this guy at all times.
Ball down to the 18-yard line. First down for Georgia Southern. Foster hands the ball off. That's Lewis going through the middle. And eventually brought down by Corey Lynch. And again, the running opportunities here, the holes being opened up by the offensive lines, tremendous holes. 10-yard gain.
And Brad Williams, they're trying to make amends for his penalty. Great blocking on the inside, big hole up the middle, pushing the ball upfield, putting his team in a position to score points.
Second down and short from the 8. Foster hands to Lewis again, trying to get to the outside. Another flag comes down.
Like another hold.
And a stop. Maybe a yard gain, but a penalty flag on the play. Tim Washington was in on the stop, and again a holding call against Georgia Southern. This will move it back.
Anytime that flag comes in the middle of the line like that, you know there's going to be a holding call.
Here's the call from Ed Rhodes.
Holding. Offense. Number 68. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
The center, Jesse Suarez, called for that hold. He is a senior out of Augusta, Georgia. 4 penalties for 40 yards now for Georgia Southern.
Yeah, there's 2 penalties on your offensive lineman here, back-to-back plays. Maybe that's why those holes are there, because these guys are holding. But you can say on every play, offensive lineman holds. So, hey, you get caught sometimes you don't. It's one of the times that they threw the flag that he was called.
Billy Lowe is back in. He puts it up. It's short, contact, caught, touchdown.
No flag on the play. No flag. Little contact in the end zone. Hey, they're letting them play. Conference rivalries, they are letting these guys play.
Raja Andrews got free for the touchdown grab. That's his first touchdown catch on the year as Billy Lowell, the freshman, came on. And definitely contact there. Looked like he pushed him out of the way. Hey, that ball's mine.
Yeah, y'all pushed him down.
And here is Jesse Hartley on for the PAT and a whistle before the kick.
Ball start. Offense, number 1. 5-yard penalty. Try down.
Well, false start on E.J. Webb. They'll move the ball back 5 yards and kick it. He is back to the 15, so it is a 25-yard kick attempt for a score. And he puts it right through. 28-14 now as both these offenses going up and down the field. Touchdown pass from Lowe to Andrews, and Georgia Southern up by 2 touchdowns. Well, Georgia Southern now with 3 offensive touchdowns. They have an interception return for a touchdown, and they're up by 14 points. They go 9 plays for 65 yards, 18-yard touchdown pass to Raja Andrews, and they overcame 2 holding calls on that drive.
Great drive. Great way of overcoming some of these calls. Sometimes these holding calls do kill drives, but these guys are showing some resilience here in this hostile environment. Great call, great possession, ends up successfully with a touchdown.
Georgia Southern on the road, their fans have turned out in pretty good force here this afternoon. And here is the kickoff. Hillary and Gilbert are deep. And it will be Cortez Gilbert with the ball. And he finds some room and gets all the way up to the 35-yard line. Well, let's go back to the touchdown as the backup quarterback came on, Billy Lowell, at a perfectly thrown ball.
Billy Lowe getting the ball downfield. You know, really poor coverage there by number 6. But at the same time, hey, it could have been called anyway. It could have been pass interference. Seeing the freshman reaction on this touchdown pass, hey, he's excited in this atmosphere, and he should be. Freshman throwing a touchdown pass against his App State defense.
So the Mountaineers back on offense, handoff to Richardson, trying to get outside, gets a block, following his offensive lineman, John Holt, and Richardson gets a pretty good gain in which it looked as if he would be stopped for a short gain. David Lewis on the stop.
great job by Holt and Richardson. Even a better job by Holt. You saw Richardson waiting for his offensive line to get upfield, waiting for the block to develop, had a little patience, got upfield for some yards.
Well, Monty Edwards looking to the sidelines, and this is how Appalachian State runs its offense. All the plays called by the sideline, by the coaches, and then they adjust at the line. No huddle, no audibles, and it's a straight run for Edwards trying to get outside, and he falls forward very close to a first down. Scott Satterfield, who is in his 9th season here, he is a former quarterback for Appalachian State. He is the quarterback coach, and he calls the offensive plays. It's a run just shy of first down yardage, so 3rd and short. And the handoff to Richardson, and he plows forward for a first down for the Mountaineers. Jerome Benefield on the stop for Georgia Southern.
Richardson just dropping his head and pounding in the middle of that Georgia Southern defense there. He can do that the way these offensive linemen are blocking this game. They're averaging probably 10 yards a carry, so he can definitely do that and get short yardage opportunities, against this Georgia Southern defense.
Richardson already 145 yards rushing in this game. Edwards to pass, a man is wide open. That's Hans Botchison, and he gets forward for a first down. Botchison on the reception, his 25th catch on the year.
Leading receiver on this App State team. As you see Amon Edwards in the pocket, throwing it to him. Great instincts, great hands. His softest hands on this team, and a great young man off the field. Great man off the field. Great leader on this team.
Edwards on the handoff to Richardson, trying to get outside. Still going, but he's run out of bounds. That time, excellent containment by Georgia Southern.
Talking about Botchison a little bit there. He's a great young man. He's married. He has a wife that works on this campus here. So he's an Appalachian guy for life, even though he is from Miami.
Spoken from a man from Tallahassee. Edwards on the pitch to Richardson, trying to go the other way, and again, good containment by Georgia Southern. Back-to-back plays and good coverage. That time Chris Rogers got in. Chris Covington as well on the stop.
Well, this is definitely what this Georgia Southern defense wants to do. They want to get their defensive backs up in the line of scrimmage to try to keep these running backs running laterally so they can use their speed to make open field tackles, much like you saw in that last play.
3rd and long, Edwards in pass formation. And the play changed at the line. Signals coming in from the sidelines. Edwards has to scramble, has some time. Down the middle, and that ball is incomplete, in and out of the hands of the receiver. There was Dexter Jackson, and Ronnie Wiggins was there on the coverage. He is the nickelback.
Dexter Jackson, they're trying to do something, trying to change his body around to get that ball. Came up a little short. Great defensive play. More importantly, it might have been Jackson just maybe did not catch the ball. It was a catchable ball. He tried to make a play, tried to make an athletic play. It just didn't happen.
And with 9:51 to go in the first half, here's the first punt of the afternoon. It is Neil Young, the junior, on the punt. And a high kick. And that will bounce through the end zone for a touchback. So the ball will come out to the 20 for Georgia Southern. So the first defensive stop of the afternoon, Georgia Southern makes it. They get the football when we come back. A beautiful day for football in Boone, North Carolina. Glad you could tune us in on Masson this afternoon. The Southern Conference game. Georgia Southern up by 2 touchdowns. Jim Hunter with Wally Williams, our fine crew at Kidd Brewer Stadium, and Jason Foster going back to work. And he has the football, trying to get outside. He does. And another big gainer for the leading rusher of the Southern Conference, Pierre Banks, on the stop.
Just when you think you have him, just when you think you have him cornered, he changes directions in the middle of the play, goes the opposite way, and shows what we have been seeing this whole game. Shows his speed, shows what he can do in open field. Just when you think you have him, hey, he does something else. come with another game plan to stop Jason Foster.
Another 16-yard gain. And Georgia Southern up by a couple of touchdowns. Another 1st and 10. Foster hands off. Lamar Lewis, not much there. Stopped for a loss. Gary Tharrington with the initial hit. Georgia Southern had the first defensive stop of the afternoon. Now Appalachian State needs one because they're down by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, they have to come in and take over some of the intensity that this Georgia Southern team has been showing in this hostile environment. It's important that these guys get this defensive stop in this 2nd and long and don't give them an opportunity to make a big play. We have seen that on a couple of drives with these holding penalties. They have them pinned back. Let's see if they can keep them pinned back.
Billy Lowell is in there again. Foster's lined up as a running back, and Lowell will pass, trying to get out of the pocket, and he will be stopped. So good coverage back down the field, and then the rush got to him, and a big play for the Appalachian State defense, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Definitely one of the strong points of this defense is within their secondary. We got Mr. Lynch back there. We asked the John Lynch number in 47, keeping him in coverage, keeping an eye on Jason Foster in coverage, not letting him get open so they can dish the ball out on your little dunk pass, hot read to the sideline. So great job of this defense by keeping an eye down the field on their receivers, but also keeping an eye on Jason Foster.
And Pierre Banks had an eye on Foster and took off the passing lane, 3rd and long. Flag on the play and a sack for Appalachian State as Billy Lowell goes down. Pierre Banks got in there for the big hit, but a flag on the play.
Too many men in the box.
Comcast customers may be experiencing video difficulty on this program. The problems are all with Comcast. WGSA is transmitting fine. Use channel 50 if you can.
And it's against Georgia Southern. So Appalachian State will force Georgia Southern to punt. And they will get the ball back. What a play by Banks.
Banks came through untouched.
Illegal shift. Offense, number 84. That penalty's refused. 4th down.
Well, it is a 4th down play. And it will bring on the punting squad for Georgia Southern. Dan Jordan is their punter.
There's too many guys in the box on that blitz. One of the things that this App State defense wanted to do was to bring their safeties and bring their linebackers up in coverage to kind of confuse this Georgia Southern offense. Too many guys in the box on the blitz. Great outcome, great sack.
It is a wobbly kick, and it will fall down at around the 23-yard line. So Appalachian State will go back at it. Dexter Jackson wanted no part of that bouncing football, and he wisely let it go by. Elsewhere around the Southern Conference, Furman beats Chattanooga 28-22. The Citadel over Western Carolina, another high-scoring game, 37-31. And how about this? Wofford loses for the first time in the conference, 24-13. Elam wins it. So Appalachian State with 1 loss in the conference, Georgia Southern with 2, each a chance to gain on Wofford today.
This makes this Southern Conference wide open. And I will say App State is in a position to take it over.
And on 1st down, here is Edwards, a big hole all the way up to the 40-yard line, and the ball is whistled down.
And as we see, this App State offensive line is just punishing guys downfield. They're coming around on trap blocks. They're coming around on sweeps. They're absolutely manhandling this Georgia Southern defensive front.
And here's the updated standings in the Southern Conference. Wofford, the Citadel, and Elon all at 3-1 in the league. Chattanooga now 2-2. And here's a 1st down play. And another big gainer, Coco Hillary with the football going to the right. So the storyline of this game, offense, offense, and more offense.
You want to get out there and make a couple of tackles, Jim?
No, I want to get out there and run the ball. I don't want to go on the defensive side. They're having too much fun with the football. And there's another run for a first down for Appalachian State. So Moore on the carry. Ballard brought him down, the linebacker out of Edison, New Jersey for Georgia Southern.
Comcast customers may be experiencing video difficulty on this program. The problems are all with Comcast. WGSA is transmitting fine. Use channel 50 if you can.
Richardson initially bottled up, gets outside for a big gain. And he's near first down yardage.
I think one of the things that we're seeing here in Kevin Richardson's running style, wondering why he's a Walter Payton finalist, is his patience in the backfield. As you see, linemen are pulling around. He sits and waits. He doesn't just hit the side. He sits and waits for his offensive linemen to get on their blocks. Then he picks and chooses how he wants to go. He goes to the outside, to the perimeter, to the sideline, picks up some nice yardage on the sideline. Great run. Patience, patience, kids, patience.
And a whistle before the snap.
To all you young aspiring running backs out there, give an opportunity.
Part of the play, snap infraction, offense number 66, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Another penalty on a center in this game. Will you get down there and
What
teach these
are they
guys?
doing? I'm bragging about how they're just punishing these guys up front, and they're doing a great job of blocking. And here you go, my center right there. He comes along with a penalty. So, hey, maybe they're trying to go back and forth with some of these Georgia Southern offensive calls.
So it is second down, 6 yards for a first down for Appalachian State. 3 wideouts, Richardson in the backfield with Edwards, and it's a pass. And the pocket breaks down. Edwards doesn't, to him, matter, and he gets outside, down the sidelines, and nearly got it in for a touchdown. E.J. Webb saved the score initially.
And this is the difference between the quarterback and having Trey Elder, who has been doing a great job for this App State offense, and having Armani Edwards back there, the quarterback. He makes plays on his feet. This is a situation where there was nobody open downfield. He shows his elusiveness, gets down the sideline, and just makes a tremendous run, get the ball inside the 5-yard line.
So near the goal line, Richardson has the ball, and he is stopped for a loss. Damon Suggs in there on the initial stop, help from Chris Rogers.
I mean, these quarterbacks are just showing an incredible amount of skill and versatility with throwing the ball, running the ball, and getting the opportunity for some of these other playmakers to make plays. I mean, these quarterbacks are tremendous, doing a tremendous job, running up and down the field, doing the kind of stuff that we definitely anticipated in this kind of game.
So from the 6-yard line, second and goal. Edwards trying to get outside. The ball comes loose. Still loose. And we'll see who came up with it. That ball was knocked loose as Edwards was trying to change direction.
If App State comes up with this ball, they have definitely dodged a bullet.
And they did come up with the football. So they retained possession.
Well, they got away with one here. This ball could have been easily scooped up and gone on the way. He runs into his own offensive lineman. And the offensive lineman, number 63, Kilgore there, he's the one that started the fumble. He's the one that started the thing. Running to the outside, trying to make a play. Bumps to the offensive lineman. You see 28 there trying to pick up the ball. Chris Covington trying to run inside the field. He didn't get it done.
Third and goal. Edwards to the back of the end zone, but it is incomplete. Josh Johnson, a tight end, trying to come down with it, but it was off his hands. That'll bring up fourth down and a field goal attempt.
Chris Covington has been in some interesting situations.
Comcast customers may be experiencing video difficulty on this program. The problems are all with Comcast. WGSA is transmitting fine. Use channel 50 if you can.
Julian Rouse, 27-yard attempt. Line drive kick, and it gets on through. So another successful kick. He's now 9 out of 11 in field goal attempts. And Appalachian State comes up with 3. What a game we have here. 28-17, Georgia Southern. If you on the campus of Appalachian State, we're in Boone, North Carolina, the Blue Ridge Mountains, a beautiful setting for college football, and oh, do they support their Mountaineers here. It is Black Saturday. All the fans encouraged to dress in black, and they are out in force. They are expecting a record crowd here this afternoon.
The stadium holds 16,000. It has to be about 30, 35 here today.
Julian Roush to kick off. It is a good one back into the end zone, and that'll go for a touchback. So now we'll see after the field goal if Appalachian State can stop Georgia Southern, trailing 28-17. There's a scoring drive. Roush, the 27-yard field goal. Of course, the fumble was a big play.
I think this is a very, very big defensive series here for the App State defense. The way these guys have been playing, nobody has really stopped anybody. We've seen one punt, one field goal. There's been touchdowns up and down the field. So I don't want to see these guys get too far in front of App State right here. It's a big series for the D.
There's Foster. He keeps, goes around the left side, and another big gainer, and still going down the sidelines, and he runs out of bounds. So yet again, Jason Foster, they just can't stop him.
You saw a missed tackle there by Corey Lynch, and one of the things that we talked about yesterday was Corey Lynch being able to make these plays in open field. And if he doesn't make that play, he's going to be running all day. So it's going to be important that Corey Lynch, who is also an All-American candidate, make plays on Jason Foster. He's the guy who's supposed to be following him all over the field, and he didn't get it done on that particular play.
21-yard gain for Foster is having a huge first half. Billy Lowell is back in the game, lining up at quarterback. Foster's in there at running back. Fake handoff to Foster. Lowell keeps it the other way, and he picks up a big gain. Corey Lynch on the stop. So focusing so much on Foster and getting loose is Billy Lowell.
Billy Lowell throwing a touchdown pass. Now he's running it. Hey, he may be the next one in line to be Mr. Versatility on this Georgia Southern football team. So the freshman coming in, making plays for this offense.
7-yard gain. It brings up second and short for the Eagles, and Foster back at quarterback now. Foster, the senior out of Canton, Georgia. And there's the handoff, and good room for Lamar Lewis as he runs on the left side, and Jacques Roman brought him down eventually, but the offensive line of Georgia Southern having a huge first half.
Offensive line, a veteran group, and as we see, Lamar Lewis there is kind of hobbled. He's coming off the field. He's a guy who has been dealing with injuries all year. But, this Georgia Southern offensive line is a group of guys who have been together all 4 years in college. They're stacked with seniors up there, and they're going to make this thing happen for this run game for Georgia Southern.
Foster on the handoff, Lewis out of the game. Mike Hamilton takes the carry, and he picks up near first down yardage. Washington and Roman on the stop.
I don't know how we can remember all of these names. They're just changing numbers, just giving the ball to anybody back there who wants to run it. And as we see, dealing with these young guys up here, dealing with this veteran offensive line group here, it pretty much is going to go. It doesn't matter who they have running the ball. Get behind these 5 hogs up front, and they're going to open holes for them.
And we'll have a measurement on the carry to see if it was good enough for a first down, with 2:50 to go in the first half. And just far enough, literally by the nose of the football.
Hey, that's why the ball is that shape and it's not round.
So Chris Hatcher has his team on the move again. They're inside Mountaineer territory at the 33. Motion, Foster on the keeper. Here's the pitch. Outside, not much there, and good containment out of bounds.
Great job by the App State defense coming up and stretching that option play. Anytime you can stretch the option and let that play go lateral, you're in a position to win that particular play. Lynch comes up, he keeps on going lateral, gets pushed down stiff on there, but as you see, he has support coming up from the rest of these guys from that App State defense. So it's a great play for that defense. Great job. That's what they want to do to keep this running game somewhat solidified. The rest of the game, because they haven't stopped at this point, the rest of the game from this Georgia Southern offense.
Justin Wozay made that play defensively. Second down for Georgia Southern. Lewis has the ball, and he is stopped for a loss. Jock Roman, the middle linebacker, got in there. Excellent play by Roman.
Great job there. Great job by this defense. They're stepping up here, getting close to the red zone. They're going to need a defensive stop, definitely going into the half. So this defense is definitely stepping up and trying to do what they got to do there.
And look at the rushing yards already in this game, as you see Lamar Lewis limping on the sidelines. 232 for Southern and 183 for App State. 3rd and 10 for Georgia Southern. Big defensive play here for Appalachian State late in this first half. Billy Lowell is in. He passes over the middle, the pitch, and it is caught for a first down. Corey Lynch on the stop. Irving Campbell made the reception. The freshman put it right where the receiver could catch it. Good for 12 and a first down.
Great composure. Great composure in the pocket, looking downfield, making his read. Hey, this is a game of interest, and if Corey Lynch would have been there maybe an inch quicker, he would have batted that ball down. Wasn't there. First down for Georgia Southern.
1st and 10 from the 20. Foster keeps it and surges forward near the 10-yard line. Time now winding down in the first half. Now the clock is an issue. It'll be 2nd down and short. Foster keeps trying to get outside. He is stopped near first down yardage. Jock Roman in on the stop, and time is called on the field. Georgia Southern uses its 2nd timeout with 31.9 seconds to go in the first half.
Tremendous rushing numbers by this Georgia Southern offense. I mean, they come in leading the nation in rushing offense, and they have definitely shown why. Veteran group of guys up there who stay together, they maintain their blocks when they're not holding. Well, they maintain their blocks, a hat on the hat, and it definitely reflects by the output of their specialty guys in the run game.
Stay with us at halftime. Wally Williams will break down the first half, which has been a high-scoring first half. We'll look around the Southern Conference on this Saturday afternoon, and stats and highlights from the first half here in Boone. Big play now, 3rd down short for Georgia Southern. The football, the nose on the 10-yard line. 33 seconds left in the half. Foster on the keeper, and he will be stopped for a big loss by Gary Tharrington.
Gary Tharrington trying to make big plays and step up for this defense. Get in the red zone.
And now the clock under 20 seconds to go. Georgia Southern, it looks like, is letting it run down for a field goal attempt for the final play of the half. What a big play for Tharrington, the sophomore out of Spring Hope, North Carolina. And the clock has stopped 2.7 seconds, so it'll set up a field goal attempt on the final play of the half, and that is the final timeout for Georgia Southern in this half. Well, if nothing else, late in this drive, Wally, good clock management by Georgia Southern. They got the timeout to run the next play. Big defensive stop by Appalachian State, but then the timeout to set up the field goal attempt.
Yeah, this is great clock management going into the second half. You know, you don't want to make mistakes in this kind of game. This game is a conference game. You want to make sure that you're putting your team in proper situations for them to score touchdowns. So take time out, discuss it on the sideline. Hey, you just want to score points here. And it looks like Georgia Southern is going to attempt a field goal. Jesse
Hartley is on. He's 11 out of 15 on the year. This will be a 31-yard attempt, and now timeout being called by Appalachian State to try to ice the kicker. There's Jerry Moore on the sidelines, his 19th season at Appalachian State, 26th year as a college head coach. This is a big game for Appalachian State. They have won 15 consecutive games against unranked opponents. And Georgia Southern coming in with a winning record at 4-2, however unranked. So not only do you have the home field winning streak at stake, you have that streak at stake against an unranked opponent.
Yeah, you have to keep your eye on. We're going to watch Jason Foster at all costs. He is the holder on this field goal attempt. And the way they've had success in this running game and the way they block guys up, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he took it and ran the opposite way to the sidelines.
So Hartley from 31 if he kicks it. And he will. The kick is up. It's on its way, and it is good. So the final play of the first half is a field goal, which will give Georgia Southern a 2-touchdown lead at the half. Oh, if you like offense, this is your game. 31-17 at the half. Well, it's Black Sunday here at Kid Brewer Stadium, but Georgia Southern coming in trying to spoil the party. Halftime in Boone. Georgia Southern 31, Appalachian State 17. We're coming back with more from Kid Brewer Stadium. Now the Georgia Southern band on the field here at Kid Brewer Stadium. Appalachian State band going on the field as both bands are about to entertain here at halftime. And what a game we have, 31-17 in favor of Georgia Southern, and Jim Hunter and Wally Williams back at Kid Brewer Stadium. Now, yesterday during our meetings with the coaches, there was a theme. Both coaches were very irreverent, if you will, about the other team's offenses, and now we understand why. This is all about the offense rushing up and down the field in a high-scoring, explosive game because each offense is doing what the other team feared.
Well, you know, as we came in talking about Jason Foster and his output so far during the season, he is Mr. Unstoppable, and he fits the title with the way he started out this game. I mean, he's been doing everything lined up as we saw at wide receiver, throwing the ball at quarterback, and also running the ball, making big plays in the run game. So he has done everything that the coaches have said and done everything that we expected.
It's even more impressive when you consider the fact that everybody knows when Georgia Southern has the ball, the odds are Jason Foster is going to keep the football. And despite that, he still not only gets it done, he pulls off big runs for huge gains. And some of the moves, not only is he fast, not only is he quick, he's elusive and he's hard to bring down.
Well, of course, one of the things that helps him a lot is his offensive line. He has a senior group of guys and his athletic ability and speed. He's making plays, gaping holes for the offensive line, making spin moves down the field, breaking tackles, and definitely showing his change of directions and that 4-4 speed. So he is doing everything that I said we expected him to see in this game. And, hey, we expect to see even more in the second half.
Now, you're a former offensive lineman, 10 years blocking in the pros after playing your college ball at Florida A&M. And when you look down and you see the job that the offensive lines are doing for each team, they know all they have to do is hold that block even for a short time, and something good might happen, and that's what we're seeing.
Well, that's a great thing to have when you have athletes in behind you that can make that kind of play. It doesn't matter who is back there, really. These guys have been covering up defensive linemen and covering up each other all game. I mean, the physical play of this offensive line is going to definitely show in the second half. And another thing that's going to show in the second half is the condition of these players and going back and forth, battling each other up front. So, you know, we expect to see some big gains, much like the first half, in the second half also.
We're going to promote Wally Williams here to defensive coordinator and ask the defensive coach, what do you do to try to contain the opposing team despite or in spite of which team you're trying to stop? Because what we have seen in this game so far, one punt. That means there's been only one defensive stop in the game, and without a doubt, in particular for Appalachian State, if they're going to get back in this game, they're going to have to slow down the surge of Georgia Southern.
Well, one of the things that they're going to have to do on both sides of the ball is tackle. One of the things that we've seen that these guys have been making plays in open field, but there have been a lot of missed tackles. They're breaking tackles, they're spinning moves, they're doing all kinds of things. But the thing that's going to be the deciding factor is how well both sides tackle these great runners that they have on both sides of the ball.
Well, we have seen some outstanding football here in the first half in this key Southern Conference game. And college football on Masson, we have more coming up for you. October the 27th, that is next Saturday at East Carolina. Then on November the 3rd, Coastal Carolina will be at Liberty. November the 17th, Liberty again, this time at Gardner-Webb, back in the state of North Carolina. And then November the 24th, it'll be Tulane at East Carolina. So a lot of college football coming your way on Masson as we're trying to bring you the best we can in college football. We have a good one going on here. 31-17, Georgia Southern over App State. We're coming back with more at halftime.
It's like
Furman goes on the road and picks up the win, as did the Citadel. The Citadel winning at Western Carolina 37-31. A huge game concerning Wofford coming into play today in first place in the Southern Conference, but Elon goes to Wofford and wins it 24-13. So that will certainly upset the standings in the Southern Conference. App State came into this game with one loss in the conference. It was to Wofford. The Citadel is now 3-1. Elon at 3-1. And App State trying to get a win here today to go to 2-1. Meantime, Georgia Southern is looking for a win to even up its conference record at 2-2. And as you see in the conference, a lot of room at the top, and there's a lot of competition as they are beginning for the stretch run.
I mean, Wofford is sitting at the top here, but of course, Appalachian State wants to get back in that seat. So they're in a prime position here to start up some controversy at the last part of the season, because in a tie-break situation, of course, Wofford does have the edge.
Well, the bad performing at halftime. Let's look around elsewhere in college football. The top 25, Ohio State, number 1 in the nation at home, leading Michigan State 17-0. Meantime, Oklahoma wins at Iowa State 17-7. How about that? Number 6, South Carolina at home loses to Vanderbilt.
Wow, nobody wants to be in that top 10 there. Guys are losing. You get the opportunity to be in the top 10 to play for the national championship, and of course, South Carolina blows their opportunity.
Big game in the SEC. You saw Florida leading Kentucky. Other scores around college football in the top 25 as Cincinnati loses at Pittsburgh 24-17, and Texas at Baylor. That's a final now. The Longhorns win it 31-10. Right here, we have a Georgia Southern lead of 31-17 over Appalachian State. We're at halftime in Boone. Stay with us. We're coming back with more on Massey. We're at halftime of our game here in the Southern Conference with Georgia Southern leading 31-17. Outstanding first half by the offenses in this game, and Appalachian State has a lot of work to do in the second half to try to contain the Georgia Southern Eagles. And welcome back with us, Jim Hunter and Wally Williams. And let's see, we'll run down the first half highlights, and I'm going to turn it over to Wally because we may be here until the third quarter. As so many highlights in the first half, outstanding offensive play.
Well, everything has been around the quarterbacks and where they're going. I mean, Jason Foster has been a human highlight for this team right here. Jason Foster showing his speed, 4.3 speed, nobody can catch him. Linemen celebrating every having to do the time. So it comes back the other way. Hey, throw a big pass out there, interception coming down the other way. I think Amani Edwards still made a bad read in that play. Georgia Southern jumps up 14-0. And they definitely had a momentum. At this particular time, the crowd was just totally quiet. But you have Amani Edwards. He was the freshman player of the year last year for this team. Come back and answer with a pass down the middle. You have great blocking by this offensive unit to open up the run block down the field by Lamar Lewis. Kevin Richardson, who is the Walter Payton finalist, comes back and answer. And now you have Billy Lowe looking for Roger Andrews on the sideline for a touchdown. Controversial play, could have been offensive pass interference. Hey, it stands. They score a touchdown. Andrews comes back. He comes back and shows up his running ability, trying to answer what Jason Foster's doing, showing why he's been the freshman of the year last year and led his team to a national championship. So these guys have been answering all day, and it's been a great game up in our booth watching. 6
touchdowns, 2 field goals, including a defensive touchdown, and there are the stats. Georgia Southern with 237 yards on the ground, but App State, the Mountaineers, 183. Passing yards almost dead even, 73-74. And look at that, total yards, that's just in one half of football.
I mean, if the Ravens can have that many yards a game, they may be going to the Super Bowl. But, hey, these guys have put up these kind of numbers in one half of football. It's an incredible show of the skill, incredible show of athletes, and we'll look for even bigger and better things in the second half.
And Jason Foster, the quarterback, who also lines up at running back, 154 yards rushing in that first half, 154 of the 237 total. We are getting set for the second half. Will the defenses show up? That's the question of the second half. Stay with us. We're coming back with more on Masson. 31-17, Georgia Southern leading Appalachian State. We're coming back with more after this.
I tell you, coming in here yesterday, we didn't know we want to have a picturesque day like we're having today. It was raining and thundering all over the place. Rain poured all over the thing. But this place is cleared out. The fans are here enjoying themselves. Great college atmosphere. Great day to play football.
Wally Williams went through 3 outfits yesterday just going back and forth to meetings. It kept raining so hard.
It started out nice, then it got cold all of a sudden up here in these mountains. And, hey, I was not expecting that, but, hey, I don't know too much about mountain weather. So it is definitely turned into a great day today. And, Appalachian, they know how to. Appalachian, I'm sorry. I don't want you guys out there emailing me saying I pronounced it wrong, all right? Appalachian came out here, and they know how to throw a great party and a great Black Saturday for their college football team.
Of course, Appalachian State has won back-to-back national championships. Their only 2 national championships back in 2005. It was against Northern Iowa in the title game as they picked up the win, 21-16 the final there. And then they followed it up in the 2006 title game to make it back-to-back for Jerry Moore as they were able to repeat, which is so hard to do in any sport. And then in the second one, they went against the University of Massachusetts, making it a 12-3 season, followed by a 14-1 season, and they beat UMass 27-17 as Richardson scores a touchdown in the win, and back-to-back titles. Now, no one in NCAA Division I AA has ever won 3 consecutive national championships. App State has a chance to do that this year, but first they have to get into the playoffs.
Well, and that's the thing that Coach Moore has been telling his kids all season long, is to pay attention to not winning a 3rd national championship, but pay attention to winning 1 game at a time. We don't need to talk about anything but the opponent in front of us, and he's kept his kids focused all season. It started way back when they were here working out, getting prepared for the Michigan game, and they worked on their conditioning, and he's keeping that same mentality right now as they go into the major part of their schedule.
Of course, Appalachian State began the year by going into Ann Arbor, Michigan to the Big House and beating the Wolverines. Now, around Boone, North Carolina, they have these shirts. As you can see, they were printed up. We brought down the house with the final score 34-32. Folks, this is the hottest selling t-shirt, not only in Boone, North Carolina. The Ohio State University bookstore, we're told, ordered 30,000 of these shirts so the Buckeye fans could wear the shirt showing that, oh my goodness, the Wolverines lost a game. Oh, that's so bad, that rivalry there. But how about that? We brought down the house as Appalachian State got it done as they went into the Big House and beat Michigan.
Well, those Ohio State people are definitely showing their appreciation of Appalachian State. So, they invested into this thing economically. Appalachian State appreciates it, and they're going to continue with their progression, with their play, and trying to maybe reschedule some other D1 teams who want to see these guys come into their Big House and take over their stadium, much like they did against Michigan.
So the hopeful fans all dressed in black today on Black Saturday. They're hoping that their team now can mount the comeback down by 2 touchdowns as we get set for the 3rd quarter, and the Mountaineers will get the football first as we go to the second half. They are packed in here at Kidd Brewer Stadium, literally standing room only. They're in the hills, they're in the trees, they're everywhere here at Kidd Brewer Stadium. Cortez Gilbert and Coco Hillary deep. And here comes the kickoff off the foot of Jesse Hartley. Now there's Coco Hillary. He's just a freshman, and he has a lot of speed, a redshirt freshman. And Hillary takes the football, drops it, but able to recover. The 10, the 15, the 20, and then he is hammered at the 21-yard line, and Appalachian State gets the football first in the second half.
Very important drive for this App State offense to come out in the second half, establish what they're trying to do offensively, trying to make some big plays that we've seen throughout this game. But they want to have a great drive starting out the second half.
11-yard return, 1st and 10 from the 21. And here come the Mountaineers. There is Armonte Edwards, the sophomore out of Greenwood, South Carolina. Starting quarterback, but this only his 3rd start of the year because of a shoulder injury. And the play being changed at the line as the offensive coaches look over the defense. Edwards on the pitch outside the Richardson, and he does pick up some yards before being forced out of bounds. Dedrick Bynum on the stop out of Columbus, Georgia for the Eagles of Georgia Southern. That was a good job there by the quarterback, Monty Edwards, because there wasn't much there for Edwards to pick up a gainer. So he waited, he pitched it out, and they made something out of nothing.
Sacrificing your body there to make some more yards up the field. They had him cornered, and at the last possible second on the option play, he pitched it out to Richardson. Great job by him.
4 wide receivers in. Edwards to pass, looking for a receiver, running out of time, turns it up the field, and picks up a few yards before he is brought down. Carson Hill, the cornerback, came up for the stop, and the middle linebacker, David Lewis, over as well.
Carson Hill, one of the leading tacklers on this Georgia Southern defense.
It'll be a 3rd down coming up.
The defensive backs are the leading tacklers, and that's something that you don't want to see. You want to see your defensive linemen and linebackers stopping those runs, but hey, you have aggressive corners at Georgia Southern, and they make tackles just as well as anybody else.
There's a big play, 3rd and 3. Edwards to pass. Down the field, the man is wide open, but incomplete as the ball goes in and out of the hands of the intended receiver.
It looked like the wind kind of got him this ball a little bit. The wind has been swirling all day here at Kidd Brewer Stadium, and looked like it kind of got away from him and floated on him a little bit. Hans Batchison was wide open on that play. Like the ball just floated on him.
And so it'll be a 4th down, and App State is forced to punt. Neil Young on for his 2nd punt attempt, and Jason Foster is back to receive. And he has some room to run. Turning it to the outside, now cutting back in, and eventually brought down just short of the 50-yard line.
I mean, Jason Foster is just turning into a pleasure to watch. I don't know how many quarterbacks I've ever seen in the same game return punts.
There's a flag on the field at around the 30-yard line, maybe the 28. So Foster, who does it all for Georgia Southern, here's the call, Ed Rhodes. And it's an offsides call, and that should be enough to give Appalachian State a 1st down. Oh, another big mistake by the Georgia Southern Eagles.
Well, we've seen this.
Offsides, defense coming into the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
We've seen this a couple of times now. Defenses, they'll stop their offense, have them in a position to get the ball, and they have penalties that keep drives going. So, bad penalty on Georgia Southern's defense to allow this App State offense to get another opportunity to put some points on the board.
And that is the 6th penalty against the Eagles on the day, so a fresh set of downs for the Appalachian State Mountaineers. Edwards has it, he keeps, breaks up the middle, has some room, and he is eventually brought down at around the 42-yard line, and he was gang tackled by Georgia Southern. Jerry Barker in there, David Lewis in there, and they had help. So a big gainer, though, nearly 10 yards.
You know, Edwards running on the sweep here. He has all kinds of room to run the ball. You see 67 downfield blocking John Hope, and 76 Kerry Brown opening holes for that great quarterback.
Edwards again on the keeper up the middle. And he gets down to the 45 before E.J. Webb brings him down.
E.J. Webb possibly stopping a big play there. Edwards on a quarterback draw, taking the ball right up the middle, following behind that big, strong, physical offensive line.
So another 12-yard gain. Edwards this time will keep the ball, faking the handoff, and another big gainer. E.J. Webb again on the stop, and all of a sudden, Monty Edwards is finding holes, and he's pounding through them.
Big holes in the center of that Georgia Southern defense. Great physical, low shoulder pads. Guys are getting their hands inside. They're pushing Georgia Southern back. The first person that hits them are the linebackers and the defensive backs. That is not what Coach Hatcher wants to see out of his front 7 guys.
So it's another 1st down. Edwards coming outside. He keeps. He finds another hole before he's forced out of bounds. We are seeing 2 of the most exciting quarterbacks in Division I AA. Brandon Jackson on the stop, eventually forcing Amani Edwards out of bounds.
Monty Edwards here taking the page out of the Jason Foster book. Running down the sidelines, getting outside.
A gain of 7, second down and 3.
Well, it is second down, maybe 3, and the ball on the 26. Edwards again keeps trying to get outside on the right, and this time he is stopped for a short gain, if that. Brandon Daniel got in there, the junior out of Pompano Beach, Florida.
Well, they're not doing anything tricky here.
There's my kind of defensive lineman, 6'3", 301 pounds.
Hey, you got to have some rock gut in there to keep these guys off of you.
That's Wally Williams kind of a guy right out there.
Yeah, you got to have that belly right there to keep some guys off of you, I tell you. You don't want to go in there thin and trim messing with these big, strong guys from App State.
So another big third down. The handoff to Richardson. He has room. He has the first down and more. So Kevin Richardson on the carry. Covington brought him down. And Appalachian State, following the big penalty on the punt, taking advantage of it, trying to get in for a score.
That penalty is going to come back and hurt this Georgia Southern defense, hurt this Georgia Southern team.
Well, 1st and 10. Edwards is back to pass. Over the middle, thrown, and it is knocked down and nearly intercepted. Dedrick Bynum was there along with Chris Covington. It'll be a second down play coming up.
Great job by Chris Covington, but even more, I think you're going to the well a little too much here. He threw that ball right into triple coverage. Not a good decision by Edwards on that particular play. So great job by the defense, but Edwards gave them a little help by throwing that ball in triple coverage.
It'll be second down coming up. Edwards sends Richardson out to the left. Again, a passing formation, but he keeps and runs up the middle. And another big gainer for Armani Edwards. Harlan Bowler made the stop for Georgia Southern.
About the 9-yard line.
Again, that is one of the things that we talked about earlier with Armani Edwards. What he brings to the table that his backup did not bring, the ability to make plays on his feet.
3rd and short. And whistles on the field. Flag is down. And a legal procedure, false start against the Mountaineers. So that'll push him back 5 yards.
Part of the snap. False start. Number 89. Hopkins. 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
So big false start there. That was on Brett Irvin, who was the backup center who at times will line up as a tight end. So a big third down play here for the Mountaineers. Edwards back to pass over the middle into the end zone, incomplete. As he was trying to get the football to Jackson.
Well, that penalty put them back from maybe a 3rd and 2 situation to a 3rd and 7, which made it an obvious passing situation for the offense.
So Julian Roush will come on and attempt a field goal, as Jackson had that ball go through his hands on the diving attempt.
Trying to attack the middle of the field. They've had success all day long. Hasn't worked the last couple opportunities they've tried it.
32-yard attempt. Roush gets it away, and it is good. So Julian Roush kicks his 2nd field goal on the day. App State settles for 3 following the penalty and pulled back within 11. Georgia Southern to get the football when we come back. Foster and Edwards have combined for 310 rushing yards.
And the story in this box is trying to see the game. The sun is glaring in our eyes.
Roush gets it away. It's a good kick. Back to the end line. Raja Andrews on the return. And he is brought down. He had some initial forward movement and then blocked back and tackled. So Georgia Southern will get the football. And here's what we're talking about now about Appalachian State. Trailing at the half 31-17. Take advantage of the penalty. They get a field goal. Now they have to come up with a defensive stop.
Yeah, it's important that they stop this offense right now. We know the Jason Foster show is going to come about here. He has Lamar Lewis in the backfield with him with this strong offensive line. They've seen it this whole first half. Let's see if they can stand up in the second half and try to stop this offense.
The handoff goes to Lewis. Not much there. He's bottled up. They'll bring up a second down. Gary Tharrington with a big hit. Anthony Williams there as well.
Gary Tharrington is a guy who we've been calling out all night. He's been in the backfield making plays. He made a play early in the second, right before the halftime. Stopped in the backfield. He's getting penetration on that play, getting through that big, strong offensive line, helping out this defense.
Loss on the play, 2nd and 12. Foster keeps the ball, trying to go left, reverses field, goes right, trying to get outside. He does. Flags on the play, and eventually Foster is brought down by Corey Lynch. Well, we'll see what the flags are on the play. This one may come back.
Tharrington in the backfield again, causing Foster to change directions. With that, you have a clipping penalty by this offense.
So another penalty against Georgia Southern. Charwell Brown on the call. Big tackle by Lynch, but this one is coming back.
It's poor decisions on the blocking there by Estrada.
Clip during the run by the offense, number 66, half the distance, repeat, second down.
The rule for offensive lineman goes, if you see the back of your player's uniform, you don't touch him. Obvious clip by Estrada on that play that puts Georgia Southern in a big hole, and this crowd is starting to come alive and cheer on this App State defense.
It is second down, the ball pushed back to the 8. 2nd and 20 for Georgia Southern. Foster is back to pass, comes the other way, and the play initially brought down, but then breaking loose and getting some yardage is Raja Andrews before Gary Tharrington got to him.
Playing on the sideline about a possible face mask from that play. Tharrington coming all around him. It looks like he grabs his face mask, so he had a lot to argue about, and I think Tharrington is down right now.
Robert Welton was in there as well.
Looked like he injured himself grabbing that face mask. He definitely had his hand.
So Raja Andrews doesn't get the call. He made a pretty good run. So it is 3rd and let's call it 12 for Georgia Southern. And another huge play for Georgia Southern deep and for the Mountaineer defense of Appalachian State. Billy Lowell, the quarterback, is in, looking to throw, trying to get outside, gets it away, pass complete, but stops short of a first down. Jerome Touchstone on the stop, and the coverage there outstanding. They gave a little bit, but they didn't break.
Well, that's a great job by this defense, understanding the situation, keeping an eye on their big playmakers in that Georgia Southern offense, playing coverage, sitting back, letting them catch the ball underneath, and reacting to the play. Great stop by this App State defense.
An injured player on the field. That is Dusty Reddick, one of the running backs. A timeout called by the officials as Reddick will be tended to. Out of Sylvania, Georgia. He's one of the seniors on this squad. Of course, the head coach, Chris Hatcher, he is the 3rd head coach for Georgia Southern over a 13-month period, trying to get this team accustomed to his style. And here's the pass and the catch and the tackle. Outstanding tackle made. And
great open field tackle. Looks like he took a helmet to the, maybe to the man area there. That will slow anybody down.
so it'll be a punt. Dan Jordan on. He will punt from just in front of his own end zone. Dexter Jackson is back for the Mountaineers. So Appalachian State gets the defensive stop. They should get good field position. A beautiful punt, chasing Jackson all the way back to the 30, to the 35, out to the 40 where he is brought down. So Appalachian State trying to come from behind. They get the stop. They trail by 11. They're going back to work with the football when we come back. Comparison, huge games by each quarterback for Georgia Southern and Appalachian State. Foster and Edwards, who keeps the ball on first down.
We've talked about them all game. Pre-game, we talked about these quarterbacks and what they bring to the table, their elusiveness, their running ability, and they've definitely shown us throughout this game that they are the catalyst of both offenses.
We'll pick up maybe 5, so 2nd and 5. Another big possession for Appalachian State. There's Richardson on the carry, trying to get outside, cannot get outside, and he is stopped for no gain. Ronnie Wiggins up there for the initial hit. Very own Benefield there as well. So Kevin Richardson, who is on pace to break the all-time rushing record here, stopped for no gain, and it brings up a 3rd down. Edwards stepped back, looked to the coaches, changed the play. All the plays coming from the sidelines. It's a pass. Pass is away. It is deflected, it looked like, and it's incomplete. So it'll bring up a 4th down at the 45 for the Mountaineers.
Great job by this defense, stepping up and getting off the field. Getting your hands up, blocking the quick slant. And now we're going to see the Jason Foster show. Returning punts now. Haven't seen this much versatility probably since the Gordy Lockbaum days when he was at Holy Cross, playing both ways.
Neil Young on the punt. It's a high kick. Foster calls for a fair catch, drops the ball. The ball is loose, but Foster got it back. So Foster called for the fair catch. The ball went through his hands. Keeps the football, but he is hit and hammered. So how about Appalachian State defense in this game, Wally? They need to come up big to get the Mountaineers back in it.
Well, they need to come up big. We've seen a couple of times where they've had Jason Foster cornered, and they've made plays at times. They've missed tackles, but the second half, hopefully we see more of what they're doing here, which they're containing Foster. They're getting pressure on the quarterback. They're making punishing hits downfield, and this is the kind of defense that we expect to see in the second half. And this is the kind of defense that they need to play in order to come back and get back in the lead in this game.
Well, apparently a flag on the play, and the officials are trying to sort it out. The flag is at the 45-yard line of Appalachian State.
Kicking team, 41, hands to the face. Rule this year can be added to the end of the kick. First down.
So yardage added to the kick. Simpkins on the infraction as he was trying to get down the field quickly for coverage. And called for a blow to the face. So Appalachian State again now has to go to defense and try to hold down this very explosive offense for Georgia Southern. Foster hands the ball off. That's Mike Hamilton trying to cut back. He stops. 2nd down coming up.
It looks to me in this second half that the App State defense has gone in and made their adjustments and have found a couple of things here to stymie this Georgia Southern running game. We want to see how this plays out the rest of this game. See if they maintain their techniques and stay focused on containing number 4.
2nd down and 7. Reddick goes in motion. Foster keeps trying to get outside, and he does get some room before he's brought down. Very close to a first down. Titus Howard on the stop. And it is long enough for a first down, so they'll move the chains. Jason Foster, another tremendous game for the quarterback.
Titus Howard, really a great open field tackle on Foster. As he was described earlier by the defense of Appalachian State. It's like putting a rabbit on number 4, trying to contain him. And hey, Titus caught a rabbit.
First down, there's the handoff to Hamilton. Not much on the left side, but he still powers his way forward for a gain. Well, that'll bring up second down for the Eagles. Hamilton out of Melbourne, Florida. He's a junior. There's the defensive coordinator. That's John Wiley for Appalachian State. You see he puts on the yellow vest so his players can find him on the sideline.
Intense coach. He couldn't stop talking enough about the athlete and the kind of capabilities that Jason Foster had or has. And it's definitely shown today. So he described him as he's a rabbit running around on the field with that number 4 jersey, and it's very hard to catch rabbits. So that's what they're trying to do, trying to contain him, trying to keep him boxed in.
Dane Jensen, who started today at tackle with Williams moving from tackle to guard, is limping off the field. Second down coming up as Georgia Southern trying to move the football, eat up some clock. Fans getting behind the Mountaineers at Kidd Brewer Stadium. Foster on the reverse pitch, and App State was there, and it's a loss. Pierre Banks, the linebacker, outstanding coverage.
And Pierre Banks had this play read out from the jump. The reverse is coming. He follows his responsibility. Stays with the receiver, makes a play in the backfield. Great read, great job of containing Roger Andrews in the backfield for this App defense. And
2-yard loss, 3rd and 11. Billy Lowell, the throwing quarterback, is in. And he is back to pass over the middle, in and out of the intended receiver, Irving Campbell. Billy Lowell put it right on the numbers, and Campbell couldn't hold on. So App State will get the football back.
Trying to throw the ball in the seam route there. Great job by the defense standing around him. I think it was a poor job by the receiver bringing the ball in. It was a very catchable ball. Didn't make the play, and we're looking at 2 punts here back-to-back by this Georgia Southern team. We haven't seen that all game, so the App State defense is responding, trying to put a plug on this offense.
Dexter Jackson is back to receive the punt off the foot of Dan Jordan. He gets it away. Jackson pushed back to the 15-yard line. Has some room to the 20, the 25, the 30, still going to the 35, 36-yard line. Excellent field position coming up for the Mountaineers. So Jackson, a strong return. Appalachian State, the home winning streak on the line, trailing by 11 late in the 3rd quarter. Outstanding coverage by Wiggins there, who was with him step for step.
Ronnie Wiggins running stride for stride with Hans Batchison. Great play on the ball. Allows him to stretch out at the last second, backs it out of his hand. Great job by Ronnie Wiggins downfield.
It is second down. Running play for a short gain up the middle as Coco Hillary lined up in the shotgun. Quentin Taylor on the stop. Well, that'll bring up a 3rd down play. And a passing down coming up for the Mountaineers. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right on 3rd and long. And the play being changed at the line. Football on the 38-yard line. Here comes the rush. Edwards flushed out of the pocket. trying to get loose, trying to get outside for a gainer. He does get outside and run out of bounds. It appears close to a first down.
Actually, a great job by Armani Edwards getting out of the pocket and eluding trouble. But I think even better job blocking downfield by Josh Johnson, number 82, the wide receiver, getting him an opportunity to slip behind him and getting possibly that half yard needed to get that first down.
And it is a first down, so they're up to the 47-yard line on the drive. Richardson with the football. It's a reverse, coming back the other way, and maybe a short gain on the play.
Tavares Washington on the carry.
Washington took the handoff the other way and came back the other way from his wideout position on the reverse.
We've seen a couple of reverse plays here that have not been effective for either team. It's been effective just running right at each other. So a little change in what we've seen thus far in this game.
Second down and short. Edwards keeps, big hole, and he falls forward over the 35 for another first down. Tyrone Benefield eventually on the stop. And here come the Mountaineers down the field, trailing by 11.
Well, that's the kind of running that we've been accustomed to seeing. Get behind this big, strong offensive line, opening up big, gaping holes in this Georgia Southern front seven. Getting the ball upfield.
Handoff to Richardson. Goes right, short gain, and stops. Second down coming up. Dakota Walker got to him. He lost his helmet, but he made the stop.
Whatever it takes at this point right now to stop this App State offense.
Hello, how are you? Edwards now with 259 yards in total offense. And once again, getting the call from the sidelines to change the play. Interesting way they run the offense here with every call coming from the sidelines by a signal. There's a handoff to Richardson, tries to get outside, breaks a tackle, still on his feet, still going up towards the end zone, and eventually run out of bounds. What a second effort there by Richardson.
Well, one thing that we did talk about with Scott Satterfield yesterday in our meetings is that he calls plays because he wants his guys to worry about making plays, getting downfield, putting the ball in the end zone. So he takes all the pressure off audibles at the line of scrimmage and calls the plays from the sidelines so his guys could just worry about scoring touchdowns. Hey, we don't want you worried about audibles and how this defense looks. Line up, run the play that we change, put yourself in a situation to score 6.
First and 10 from the 16. Handoff, short gain, if anything, and stop. And here are the coaches on the sidelines. Now, several of the coaches will send in a signal. You don't know which one exactly is calling the play at the moment. The call comes down from Scott Satterfield, who is up in the coach's box. He's the quarterback's coach. They'll call a play. They'll go to the line to run the play. They'll look over the defense, and then they'll change the play if necessary. And Armonte Edwards now closing in on 200 yards rushing. He is back to pass, and he is sacked. Brandon Jackson got in there for the sack.
Brandon Jackson stepping up and making a huge play for this Georgia Southern defense. What's a 10-yard loss? He's going to put this App State offense somewhere they don't want to be. 3rd and long and in a passing situation.
Third and long. If anything, they'd like to make it a shorter field goal try, but they are down by 11. Edwards back to pass, gets it away, and it's intercepted on the other side by Georgia Southern. Intercepted by Covington.
Chris Covington.
It looked like Edwards' hand or arm was hit as he released the ball, and that allowed it to float in the air, and that is a huge turnover late in the 3rd quarter.
Well, getting a little bit of pressure, and as you saw, throwing off his back foot, lofting the ball out there, giving an opportunity for Chris Covington to make a play on a big interception that just annihilates a drive App State had going in the red zone. That's something that you don't do You're in a situation to score 3 points. You don't take the points off the board by throwing an interception.
Jason Foster back to work. He hands off with the football. Coming towards the outside is Lamar Lewis, and not much there. Tim Washington on the initial hit.
Covington here is a tremendous athlete. Covington was the leading rusher last year for this Georgia Southern team. He's a minor league baseball player. Yeah, the man has been doing it all. He's been doing it all, and he's had a rough first half, but came back, make amends for some of those penalties that he had in the first half, and big interception by Chris Covington.
And it's a 1-yard loss. Billy Lowell is in there again. Foster lined up next to him at running back. There's the handoff to Foster, and nothing there. Looks like a loss on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and long, and this Appalachian State defense has really played well in the second half.
We're talking to Coach Wiley in our meetings yesterday. We want this defensive lineman to get after the quarterback, and we have seen in the second half.
And you saw Tony Robertson coming in, making the initial hit. And there is Coach Wiley in his 17th season running the defense here for the Mountaineers. 3rd and long. Billy Lowell stays in. The left-hander back to throw. Over the middle and a wide open catch. And a big gainer for Georgia Southern. Raja Andrews hauls it in. And Justin Woze saves what might have been a break for a touchdown. What a huge 3rd down conversion.
Play dirt in the middle of the field, wide open. There wasn't a guy within 5-10 yards of Andrews on this pass. Great pass by the freshman back there, Billy Lowe. 3rd down situation here. And they allowed Andrews to make plays in open field. Getting your ball to your specialty guys.
You see number 99, Tim Washington. He is assigned, at least he was on that play, to try to stop Jason Foster. So that took one player out of the flow, out of the coverage.
So much emphasis is put on Jason Foster that other guys have opportunity to make plays on this Georgia Southern offense.
So Raja Andrews after the long gainer is helped off the field. See, the knee brace was loosened. Jogging off the field under his own power. There's head coach Jerry Moore. Georgia Southern faithful just below us. They're outnumbered here. Jerry Moore's team enjoys a tremendous home field advantage, and Moore now concerned as the clock is running down to end the 3rd quarter. So Georgia Southern will allow the clock to run out, and they will take the football to begin the 4th quarter, looking to add to what is an 11-point lead. So a huge game for Jason Foster. Georgia Southern has not scored in the second half, but the Eagles still hold on to an 11-point lead.
Oh, but I guess if you're going to throw it to somebody, hey, you might as well get it in Jason Foster's hands. Dangerous play on the option. He's stuffed. Great job by the App defense right here, but look at that. Pitches the ball out at the last possible second to Jason Foster. So, hey, if you can get the ball in his hands at all costs, that has to be a great thing for this team.
DJ Smith with that tackle down near the feet of Jason Foster. 2nd down and 8. And Billy Lowell stays in there. Foster's lined up in a slot, 4 wideouts to the right. It comes to Foster. He's looking for room, and he runs into the App State defense for a short gain. It'll be 3rd down. Well, Foster does it all. Georgia Southern. Quarterback lining up in a slot.
Returns punts.
It is 3rd and short, so Billy Lowell out of the game, and Foster will go back to quarterback.
He's a holder on field goal teams. When does he ever come off the field? Have we seen him at cornerback yet?
He might be in there. Hamilton and Reddick are in the backfield with him. It is 3rd and short, and it's Hamilton powering his way forward.
Good job of the App State defense there, just holding tight, being sturdy at the point of attack.
Tim Washington was in on the initial hit. Now it's all about the spot. And it appears that it is 4th down, that they are short.
The offense is staying on the field, so they're going for it on 4th down here. Big 4th down play.
Foster under center, surges forward, trying to get enough for the 1st down. And the officials will stop the clock to see if he did in fact get enough. Fans are booing the spot. There's Chris Hatcher on the sidelines in his first season after spending 7 years at Valdosta State in Georgia.
I think Coach Hatcher kind of tried to Lou Holtz us last night and said his team had nothing to offer here. They've been coming out firing all cylinders from the start of this game.
Foster fakes the handoff, keeps, runs right, picks up a couple before he's brought down. Doc Roman in there on the stop. DJ Smith as well. Smith, a true freshman out of Charlotte, who had never lost a football game in his career. He went through high school undefeated in Charlotte, then came here, and when App State lost at Wolford, it was the first time in DJ Smith's football career that he'd ever been on the field in a loss.
Independence High School is a powerful high school. Never lost a game until he got to college. Incredible.
2nd down. And movement on the line for Georgia Southern. And this should move the ball back 5, and another penalty on the Eagles.
Another penalty in a scoring area of the field.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense. Number 66, 75, 5-yard penalty to the previous spot, still 2nd down.
All right, so take your pick. Marcelo Estrada jumped, Brad Williams jumped. And it's a 5-yard penalty, bringing up 2nd down and long. So offensive substitutions for the Eagles as Billy Lowell goes back in. Chris Hatcher told us he is far from happy with a 4-2 record. It's not about winning, it's about winning championships.
Winning championships and playing hard. You know, one thing we want to see in this 4th quarter, the way these offenses have been going up and down the field, is their conditioning. When you have penalties like that, you have to wonder where the concentration is.
Foster's lined up to the left. Lowell looking deep, forced out of the pocket. He throws and throws it away.
Smart play.
So Billy Lowell forced out of the pocket.
App State just staying with Jason Foster. Looks like a wide receiver screen there. Staying with him, watching where he needs to go, and that is a great job there by Pierre Banks, number 31, of containing the great quarterback / punt returner / field goal holder, whatever you want to call the Jason Foster show.
So it brings up 3rd and long, and a huge play defensively for Appalachian State. Billy Lowell takes the snap. He gets it away over the middle. It is complete. And a catch made by Joe Haney. Justin Woze on the stop. Tell you what, for a freshman, Billy Lowell, a lot of poise in the pocket. And it brings up 4th down for Georgia Southern. Haney didn't get enough.
He's made some key 3rd down passes that have kept some of these drives alive for Georgia Southern. And that is one of the passes that, hey, young freshmen don't come into this kind of environment and do.
4th down play, getting the football, Mike Hamilton, and he surges forward. Foster walked to the left as if he was changing the play, and the ball was snapped to Hamilton, who took it for a 1st down.
Well, now we see Mr. Foster, the decoy. He's just milling around, making adjustments at the line of scrimmage, lulling this defense to sleep a little bit, and all of a sudden they snap the ball. Hey, look at that.
Well, outstanding call and very well play acted by Jason Foster.
Great job of using Mr. Foster, even in a decoy situation. He has an effect on this team.
Well, Foster keeps it again, runs left, not much. It'll be 2nd down. Tony Robertson in on the hit. Not only now is Georgia Southern driving down for another possible score, they're also eating up the clock. And there you see the better job of containment by Appalachian State on Foster in the second half.
And that's that veteran group of offensive linemen up front there who are maintaining their blocks and really keeping some of these drives alive. Short fourth down plays, being creative in your play calling, get them in a situation to score points.
Foster hands off up the middle, big hole. Lamar Lewis towards the end zone and in for a touchdown for Georgia Southern.
Great job by the offensive line again, opening holes and allowing their specialty players to make plays. Patience in the run game, allowing blockers to get upfield, put a hat on a hat, and they're just picking holes. They're picking Ohio State defense right now. And like we talked earlier, Lamar Lewis is a capable running back who's been averaging 100 yards a game all season.
And the extra point on its way, and it is good by Jesse Hartley. And it's now an 18-point lead for Georgia Southern on the road. 38-20 following the touchdown for Georgia Southern. Appalachian State 30 consecutive wins coming into today's game at Kidd Brewer Stadium. They have not lost a game since a playoff game. It was November the 30th of 2002 when Maine beat the Mountaineers 14-13, and you see the fans are beginning to exit. They're not accustomed to seeing Appalachian State on the short end of a score, and right now it is an 18-point Appalachian State deficit as Georgia Southern has played very well. They've scored only one touchdown in the second half, but they had a big interception to deny the Mountaineers on a drive, and now App State will get the ball back down by 18 with 9:50 to go.
The App State offense is going to be in a position now they have to throw the ball downfield, so that's not where they want to be.
Cortez Gilbert trying to get outside, cuts back in, and an excellent return by Gilbert up near the 35-yard line. So now Appalachian State forced into a situation that they don't want to do, and on this day, Armani Edwards, several key mistakes.
Yeah, we've seen a couple key mistakes out of Edwards. We talked earlier about Trey Elder, who has been a starting quarterback since the Michigan game, and this is Armani Edwards' first game back off the bye. He hasn't been in full contact situation, and it's kind of showed his rustiness and some of his decision making that he's done so far.
Edwards keeps the ball and a pickup, but he is stopped. It'll be second down. Quentin Taylor in there on the stop, the middle linebacker. Of course, now down by 18. The clock is clearly the friend of Georgia Southern, as Appalachian State trails by 18. There's a completed pass. Bottled up, trying to surge forward is Coco Hillary before he is stopped by E.J. Webb. Trey Elder on the sideline. Now, he had quarterbacked the last few games as Edwards was out with a sore shoulder. He is regarded as the better passer of the two, but as you can see, he is not yet getting loose on the sidelines.
Elder is no slouch. He was rated number 5 in the nation in efficiency when he came back.
On third and short, Edwards breaks loose, and a big gainer into Georgia Southern territory. Derek Bynum on the stop. Edwards slow to get up.
Took a shot on the knee there. Pretty good tackle. Overfield tackle on Edwards. They will not hesitate to change quarterbacks. We talked to Coach Moore about that. If we felt that it would be a problem with Edwards' shoulder coming into this game, he will not hesitate to put Elder in. He's a proven veteran on this team. He's a senior. And yes, he is the better thrower of the two.
And here comes Elder in the game, and Armonte Edwards will jog off the field after being hit in the knee. Play clock down to 8. Elder did not warm up, puts the ball in the air, and it is caught and then dropped. Hans Batterson went up high, had the ball, but then couldn't hold on as he came to the ground. Ronnie Wiggins on the defensive stop. What an effort there by Hans Batterson.
Going up, trying to make a play on the ball. Comes down pretty hard on his head. and the turf jars the ball loose. Great try by Hans Badishon on that play.
Edwards on the sideline. Trey Elder, who is a senior, stays on. In motion is Hillary. And movement and a whistle. Scott Suttle, the center, it appears guilty of a false start.
Prior to the snap, snap infraction, number 66. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And why this happens in this offense is because of how they change the plays. The center is down with his hand on the ball, and sometimes he gets anxious.
All right, Scott Satterfield told us the other day that, look, this happens in practice all the time, so you practice how you play, and it's been shown up a couple of times with the center in this game.
Elder to throw, gets it away. Richardson has it, room to run, has a first down, and gets up to the 20-yard line. Elder with patience got it done.
How about the job Trey Elder is doing? He's only thrown 2 passes, but ladies and gentlemen, he came off the bench, not warming up, and has settled in right now, trying to get this team into a situation where they can score some points. So, you know, 2 very capable quarterbacks that App State has, and that puts them in a pretty good position here.
Back to pass again, has time, now the pocket breaks down, trying to get outside, he's pursued, cuts upfield and picks up about 4. An excellent effort there before Suggs and Jackson bring him down.
This Georgia defense right now is smelling a little blood, and they're in hot pursuit. This App State offense, hot pursuit of Trey Elder.
So it is second down and 6. Elder to pass, goes straight up the middle on the run, a big gainer, still on his feet, he's in for a touchdown.
Trey Elder coming in, giving this team a spark. Throwing the ball, running the ball, coming off the bench. Did not stretch or warm up at all. And he comes in and scores a touchdown for Appalachian State. Quarterback draw, running the ball right up the middle. Lineman downfield blocking, 66. Scott Suttle downfield blocking. Hey, putting 6 on the board.
That is his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. Julian Roush for the point after. And it is good. He hits it right down the middle. So Elder comes off the bench after Edwards was forced out. And Appalachian State trying to come back. They are back within 11. That. And the fans who are sticking it out have seen Trey Elder come off the bench and lead his team into the end zone on the touchdown run.
Okay, now he's going to go warm up now. Now he's going to stretch and get ready to play football after scoring a touchdown.
Trey Elder, Wally and I watched him in the pregame warm-up, and he has a real nice passing touch as Roush's kick comes back deep. Big return outside near the 35-yard line for Georgia Southern. It's Joe Haney on the return. 7 plays for 66 yards, and Elder goes in from 19 yards out. So getting loose on the sidelines now to really warm up that arm. And now, can the defense of Appalachian State stop Jason Foster and Georgia Southern?
7:19 in the 4th quarter. The defense needs to have a 3-and-out in this situation.
Reddick in motion. There's the handoff to Hamilton. And he is stopped for a loss, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Good containment there by Appalachian State. Finnerty and Roman in there on the stop. Of course, now, as Wally points out, the clock is not the friend of the Mountaineers, but is the friend of Georgia Southern.
This big, strong offensive line.
Billy Lowell is back in there, quarterback. Foster's lined up to the right with 3 receivers. The pass comes back the other way, and it's caught by Raja Andrews, who gets loose after a broken tackle. Still on his feet and eventually brought down at the 45-yard line.
Andrews man up, man-to-man coverage with Jerome Touchstone. Able to elude the initial tackle, get upfield for another 20-yard gain.
So that's the second time in the second half that Foster was more or less a decoy. He was lined up the opposite way, and they came back to the left to the lone receiver, Raja Andrews.
And sitting in the booth, as we saw, this defense really rotated over to where Jason Foster was left Roger Adams open one-on-one on the defensive back.
Foster allowing the play clock to tick down as time comes off the clock. There's Mike Hamilton again for a run. And he is stacked up after a short gain. And now what Georgia Southern will try to do, Wally, is every play, run that play clock down, allow the 25-second clock to tick down as much as possible to get this game clock down. Now 5:46 and counting.
We've seen this team run up and down the field all day. At this particular point in the fourth quarter, they're going to slow this thing down, use up all the clock they possibly can, and put it in their playmakers' hands behind this big, strong, veteran offensive line.
Foster hands off again to Hamilton, and he is stacked up. Going to bring up a third down. Both teams have all three of their timeouts. An 11-point deficit. Appalachian State would need a touchdown with a 2-point conversion and a field goal.
This Georgia Southern crowd, this Georgia Southern faithful that has followed this team from Statesboro has gotten louder and louder in this fourth quarter, rooting their Eagles on.
A huge play here for the Mountaineers, third down. Foster to pass. Chased out of the pocket, keeps the ball, but he is stopped short of a first down. Tony Robertson eventually on the stop. It'll bring up fourth down, and what will Georgia Southern do?
Pretty good job by the defense to pretty much keep Foster grounded. Did he not give him an opportunity to make a play either throwing the ball or running the ball? So great job by this defense to keep him contained.
Play clock is running down to 14. Looks like what they might do is take the penalty, move it 5 yards back to give their punter, Dan Jordan, more room to work. And the play clock runs down, 3:57 left in the game. And that'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Delay game, offense, number 4, 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
So the punting team will come on the field as Georgia Southern was more than happy to allow 25 seconds more to tick off the clock, and they give Dan Jordan now 5 more yards to work with.
Great job of strategic coaching by Chris Hatcher. Taking an opportunity, taking as much time as he possibly can, taking the penalty, pinning them back.
The kick away, not a good one, a wobbly kick going down towards the 10-yard line. And it takes a Georgia Southern bounce and will come to rest inside the 10 at about the 8. The Appalachian State down by 11. 3:43 left. A home winning streak on the line in Boone.
This is the worst possible situation for this offense to be pinned back deep in their own territory. Down by 11 with 3:38 left in the fourth quarter. They have to get the ball downfield, get it to their perimeter guys, and score quickly to have a chance to come back in this game. 5
defensive backs in for Georgia Southern. Edwards looking to throw, gets out of the tackle, has some room, coming up towards the sideline to get out of bounds. And he is pushed out of bounds very hard. So Edwards able to pick up the first down and forced out of bounds by E.J. Webb. And the question for you, Wally, is Armani Edwards, of course, the running quarterback. There's Trey Elder on the sidelines. Why not have the better passer in there down by 11?
Yeah, I really don't understand their strategic approach here, down by this score, and having a guy who has been in the lineup for the last month who has directed this team to some victories.
And Edwards is sacked. Dakota Walker, not blocked, got in there and picked up the sack.
Coming on the blitz, when you're down, those defensive guys are going to put pressure on your quarterback, and the ball came out on the play. I guess he was able to recover the fumble.
There's second down and long. Edwards pinned back over the middle. It is caught by Badashon, and he has some room to run. Down the sideline he goes, and a huge gainer down to the 30. Well, Jerry Moore knows his quarterback, doesn't he?
Hey, that just takes away my whole perception of what he's over there doing. That's why he's won back-to-back national championships, getting this ball down to Hans Badashon, who has tried to make a couple of big plays for this offense, getting down the field. Great job of putting this team, giving them some life to possibly score and bring this game pretty close.
Back to pass again with plenty of time. Goes the opposite way, wide open and caught for another big gainer. Bynum on the stop. Richardson made the catch. He came out of the backfield and just floated down the left side.
Threw the ball running to his right. Came back and threw the ball back across the field to his left. A wide open Kevin Richardson. Has this team knocking on the door to bring this thing close.
It is 1st and 10. The ball is just inside the 11. Edwards to pass. Protection breaks down outside, and a good gain on 1st down. E.J. Webb forced him out of bounds.
Georgia Southern can't be content with their score. They have to maintain the pressure on the quarterback, and they're sitting back now playing coverage. Roaming with Edwards and throwing the ball back across the field to Kevin Richardson. He lay out on the field, got to take that hit.
He lobbed it up there. Richardson was saying, come on, football, get to me.
Very close to being picked off, but hey, they made it to him. The football gods must be happy.
Edwards on 2nd down, keeps it. He's near the goal line. They can get a 1st down without scoring. And the clock continues to tick away. It is 3rd down and let's call it a foot. And flags all over the place. In for a score is Devon Moore.
Confusion with the App State offense. Guys not knowing where they're supposed to line up. Bringing on the flag here.
Referee Ed Rhodes with his crew.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 12 men. That penalty is refused. Touchdown.
Touchdown for Devon Moore. And now App State will go for the 2-point conversion.
Didn't look organized at all. This App State offense, the coaches were going nuts on the sideline trying to get their guys in and lined up.
And as it turned out, it was Georgia Southern that did not line up correctly. So here is Elderon for the 2-point conversion try. This is huge because it would bring them within a field goal. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Back to throw is Elder, flushed out. Fires, and it's caught by Badashon. And a 3-point game. The Mountaineers staging a comeback. Elder with the patience. Badashon got open. And the 2-point conversion successful.
And these fans that cleared out here, maybe they're trying to foul their way back in. This game is not over yet. Elder coming in, as he done throughout this game so far, throwing the ball and just giving his team an opportunity to score and win this game. And Elder's just come in and done a spectacular job to get his App State offense a spark.
Being flushed out of the pocket actually allowed Badashon a few extra seconds to get more open.
Well, receivers are taught, look, when your quarterback runs, you're supposed to run with him. And Badashon did a great job of paying attention to what his quarterback was doing. When he sensed the pressure, Elder ran out of the pocket. He ran out from behind coverage and they connected on the two-point conversion. That is a huge play for this App State team. And as you see then, as you hear, these fans will definitely come alive and try to root these guys on. Even bigger play coming here where they're going to onside kick it or put it in their defense's hands and try to get a 3-and-out situation against this Georgia Southern offense.
Well, they do have all 3 of their timeouts left, as does Georgia Southern. 91-yard drive for that touchdown to pull App State within 3. What a game in Boone, North Carolina. The home winning streak on the line. The winning streak against non-ranked opponents on the line. Not to mention the now wide open Southern Conference race.
Everything is on the line here. Big rivalry game, and you know what? These are how rivalry games are supposed to play out, down to the wire. Wow, and we've seen every bit of it today with these two teams.
And we'll see what Roush does. He kicks it away deep. And stopped at about the 18-yard line is Georgia Southern. And now it's up to the defense and the timeouts. Tim Camp on the return. So it is 1st and 10 from the 17.
Well, we've seen this defense make plays. We've seen this defense give up plays. This is a critical situation where they need to have a 3-and-out. With the crowd behind them, conference at stake, let's see how they respond.
Foster keeps the ball in the middle, short gain, 2nd down. And a timeout immediately called by Appalachian State. The interception earlier on, which denied App State a chance for at a minimum a field goal, now that is coming back even larger. But what a comeback by the Mountaineers.
Well,
when you're a winning program, you know until that final tick of the seconds go off the clock, you have a chance, and they did not give up.
Well, winning is a learned habit. Winning is a learned habit, and Coach Moore has instilled into his players. The emphasis on winning and perseverance. And, you know, as we've seen throughout this game, we've seen mistakes. We've seen mistakes by Edwards in his passing game. We've seen mistakes in the running game with fumbles and interceptions. And those things will come back to haunt. They're going to look back at this film if they don't come out of victory and see why.
2nd down and long. Andrews in motion. There's the handoff to Lamar Lewis, and he is stacked up. Daniel Finnerty in there on the first hit. Another timeout stops the clock. It is 3rd and long.
Daniel Finnerty has stepped up and made a couple of big plays for this defense in the backfield. He has been getting penetration and has been the first guy to hit Foster or Lamar Lewis as soon as they touch the ball.
So the biggest play in the game to this point coming up next, 3rd and long. Jerry Moore looking on from the sidelines, talking with his staff. The student body, they didn't leave, and they are into it behind the Appalachian State bench. Black Saturday, they're all dressed in black. And the fans who did exit early, right now, they're disappointed in themselves. Keep in mind the big play ability of Jason Foster. It is 3rd and long, just short of 9 yards, say 9.5 yards.
This crowd has come alive.
And Billy Lowell, the throwing quarterback, is in. He has backed the pass, flushed out of the pocket, and he will be sacked. And App State gets the ball back. Finnerty on the hit.
Daniel Finnerty has stepped up and made plays on these last 2 series for App State here with this defense. He has been going against 66 there in the middle of the line of scrimmage, holding tight, playing 2-gap there, and he goes in and makes the big play on Billy Lowe. Finnerty has stepped up. These last 2 series has come up big for this App State defense.
App State just took a timeout, the last timeout that they have, so they will get the football back. Keep in mind, their field goal kicker, Julian Roush, is one of the best in the nation. And we were told yesterday that he is legitimate from 55 yards. Doesn't mean he's going to make it, but he has the leg to make it.
And keep in mind, with no timeouts, this offense, and in college football, the play starts, the clock stops after every first down. So they are going to be in their rush offense. They're going to be trying to get the ball downfield. They're going to try to get first down so they can stop that clock and be an opportunity to get Rouse to kick a long field goal here. They're going to be in good field position with this punt.
And they're going to go for the block. 10 men on the line, ready to rush. And the kick is away. Trying to get outside is Jackson. He has a wall. Big return down the sideline and forced out of bounds. A flag on the play. Flag on the play back at the 45-yard line. And this one may come back. Jackson appears to have cramped up or pulled the muscle on the return. And this one may come back.
And this stadium is about to explode when they saw him running down the sideline.
And they are bringing it back. Ed Rhodes will fill us in.
During the return, illegal block in the back. For the return team, number 22, 10 yards from the spot of foul, first down.
Leonard Love.
As you see on this return, the right side of your screen here, the illegal block. You hate to see that on a big punt return with the game on the line. Brings the return back by Jackson. Unfortunate penalties has cost this team all game, and this is one of them that has one of the many penalties that this team has had when they had opportunities to score.
So it is 1st and 10, no timeouts. Trying to get in the field goal range to tie it. Edwards to pass. And it's complete. And tackled. They have to hurry, no timeouts. The clock will continue to tick. Batashon on the reception. It's good for a first down. Remember, as Wally pointed out, college football, when they move the chains, they stop the clock. Clock stopped as they moved the chains on that first down. And once the ball's ready to go, the clock starts again. Edwards to pass. Coming deep. Jackson bounces away, nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. It'll be second down.
You know, if that was going to be caught or interception, it was a chance for both on that particular play, but Jackson giving good effort.
Second down.
You also had great effort there by number 17, Derek Bynum. So good job by both defenders on that play.
The long field goal on the year for Julian Roush is 49 yards, which means they'd have to get to the 32 to get within that range. The 32 of Georgia Southern. Roush limbering up on the sidelines. It is 2nd and 10. Edwards coming the other way. It is caught. Batashon has it for a gain. Didn't get the first down. The clock's still running. Down to 38 seconds. And a flag on the play. And this one comes back. This will come back. Josh Johnson, it didn't look like was set. He was moving, and he was moving forward to get lined up. So this one is going to come back, and these 5 yards will hurt with time running down.
Penalties in prime situations have hurt this team all day, and this is another one in the many that we have talked about that is just taking some of the steam out of these drives that App State has had the opportunity to make.
So the penalty goes against the Mountaineers. This will cost them 5 yards.
Illegal shift. Offense. Number 82. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
Well, the last drive, pinned deep, and some big plays. Batashon with that big catch and run. So this team able to come back. There's the touchdown. And then the two-point conversion. Elder out of the pocket. Got it to Batashon.
Their biggest problem has been stopping themselves with bad penalties and bad situations. So this is definitely a four-down situation for this App State team.
28 seconds and no timeouts left. And he is bottled up. Damon Suggs in on the play, and the clock ticking away. They have to go down, try to get a first down to try to stop the clock.
They have to throw it. They have to get a first down here. Game on the line.
Edwards out of the pocket, running towards the sidelines. And did he get out of bounds in time, and did he get a first down?
I don't think he got a first down.
He got out of bounds, but did he get a first down?
With 1 second left, 1.1 seconds left in the game. I don't think he got a first down.
Georgia Southern is celebrating on its sideline. They're waiting for the spot. And it's first down. He was short. First down for Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern faithful here are going absolutely berserk.
So Georgia Southern on downs gets the ball back. And all they have to do is take a snap, go down on a knee, and the game will end. And Georgia Southern on the road will get out of here with a 3-point win. And the longest home winning streak in the nation about to come to an end.
Moniette was trying his best to stretch out for that first down, did not make it. And ultimately, Georgia Southern is victorious.
So what a win for Georgia Southern on the road. As Trish Haster told us last night, they're looking at it as a new season beginning today. And so far in their new season, they're 1-0. And Jerry Moore feeling the effects of a loss at home for the first time over the past 30 games. His team didn't quit. His team came back. They got within a field goal. Could not get down far enough to attempt the game-tying field goal. But what a game here in Boone, North Carolina. What a job by Georgia Southern. So Appalachian State falls to 5-2 while Georgia Southern improves to 5-2.
This game started out fast break speed from the opening snap, and it continued throughout. It was exciting up until the point the final tick was on that clock, and that is Southern Conference football. That's what it's all about. It is a great game, and I'm glad I was here to see Appalachian State, and Georgia Southern. Great game.
Well, Division I AA, there are some good programs at this level, and these are two of the best in the nation. So Appalachian State, they are disappointed. They have lost. Their long winning streak at home has come to an end at 30 consecutive games. They had won 15 straight games against unranked opponents. Georgia Southern came in here unranked, so that streak has ended as well. And the Eagles, a big 3-point win. They had 31 points in the first half, just one second half touchdown, but it was enough to hold on for the win. So they are celebrating on the Georgia Southern side as the Eagles come into Boone, North Carolina, pick up a win. We're coming back to wrap it up after this. We're back at Kid Brewer Stadium in Boone, North Carolina. The Rock, Georgia Southern, their faithful having a good time as the Eagles have come into Boone and knocked off Appalachian State 38-35. A huge game for Jason Foster, and he had a big first half as Georgia Southern scored 31 in the first half and one touchdown in the second half, and the 30-game consecutive winning streak at home, the nation's longest home winning streak, is now history. And now the standings in the Southern Conference, and Wally, they are now really up for grabs as there is a multitude of contenders because of the loss today by Wofford.
Yeah, I think this thing is very jumbled at the top here. You got three teams here that are 3-1: Wofford, the Citadel, and Elon. So, you know, who's gonna take the lead? Just like we've seen all year in college football, who wants to be number one? And nobody right now has set themselves apart in the Southern Conference.
And the storyline coming in, which defense would be able to stop which offense, and Georgia Southern did just enough. They stopped 3-point difference, they got the win.
Well, we did talk about this coming into the game, that we thought that who had the ball last would win the game. And prime opportunity for this Georgia Southern team to step up, make a play, hey, go home with the victory, and they're still here celebrating, enjoying themselves right here in Boone.
Well, our thanks to our producer, Mick Lewis, our director, Dennis Galloway, and our tremendous crew here in Boone, North Carolina. They made it easy, and a tremendous game for everybody here to watch. Unfortunately for the home team, their fans go home unhappy. And now for Wally Williams and our entire crew, Jim Hunter saying so long. Georgia Southern comes into the Rock and knocks off Appalachian State. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.